So let's see what we got to do. Yesterday, I spent some late night time. This is a game that definitely has some offline time to it. I definitely just like, oh, I definitely just like grab some iron, etc. I want to do a tally about how much iron I'll need. I have enough now to make my full set. I'm gonna use. I'm not sure I'm gonna make a pole arm yet. So here's what I'm thinking. Where's my mouse? All right. This is the middle of the day. I remember this. Okay, so here's all my linen. It's finally done. Yeah. And my iron barf. Okay. It's time for me to get into some new. I gotta make some new chests for some of this iron too. Okay, so 10 iron, 20 linen thread, 20 iron, 40 linen thread. And why is the other one so far away? It makes no sense. The elements are here. So 30 iron, 55 linen thread. I definitely have this. And then weapons-wise, here's the thing. This weapon, the porcupine, has blunt and pierce on it. So I could do that and the sword. I wish there was a two-handed sword in this game. I just still have not seen that, which is kind of lame. I guess maybe it's like authentic to that era. That maybe they didn't have long swords or bastard swords. So the only two-handed weapon that I see, there's no bow. There's the black metal axe, and then there's the black metal gear. A vicious hewing axe of almost unbreakable black metal. This is cool. Those are always nice. So I'll probably do sword, porcupine, and the shield. So that's a lot of iron and stuff. So I'm going to continue to use up at this point I'm just doing kind of like backtracky type bullshit. So I remember how to play the game. There you go. So I'm going to still keep using like onion and wolf meat and stuff like that to use those until such a point that I actually haven't even seen anything yet that shows me where the plains boss is. Like maybe it's in one of the villages? That's a bit disturbing. How much stamina do I have? 80? It's enough. Okay, 8. Onions. Take a breather. I was like crouching and huffing and straining and like cleaning up water from the ground and all these things. And I was like sitting down. I'm like, I'm a little bit out of breath for not having done anything. Part of it's like the elevated heart rate from having coffee, but it's also like I put on a lot of weight and been like, I'm a lot stronger, but like I'm not sure how my cardio is. Have I gotten like adequately agile for putting on 30 pounds? I'm not really sure. Should probably start biking or doing cardio. I hate it so much though. I do like 5 minutes before the. I do like 5 minutes warm up before the gym. But yeah, my cardio is a little low right now, especially because I have to drive to the fucking gym. No bueno. Okay. There's turnips in there. This thing, you put 4 wood in there. It lasts like 10 years. It's crazy. I gotta put more wood in there. Put these onions away. It's definitely at a point now where the coal is popping. I gotta smelt a lot of iron. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna. Oh, I don't have. If I had 25 more wood, I would put it in. Okay, I gotta get more potions. Do I have anything in the fermenter? It's been fermenting this whole time. This is the fire resistance, right? Nice. Fire resistance barley wine. Nice. Does it give anything? Does it give any of the buffs? Okay. I just don't burn that often. Stoner days behind me. So I got 2 more of those. Nice. I'll keep one of these with me, I guess. Maybe. I haven't heard Motor say anything yet. She's a sad figure. Okay, so I'm pretty low on red mushrooms, which is the problem for making wolf skewers, but I might as well, you know, totally tax the supply. Then ice cream. I'm gonna keep kind of draining this shit, because I can't really make much ice cream if I have that, if I took that few Grey Dwarf eyes, but you know, life goes on. Oh, hey buddy, how you doing? Good to see you. Alright, so, boom. Wolf skewer, we can only make 3, okay. Red mushrooms. Should have turned down the graphics like 10 years ago. Collect them constantly. I do have the new food too. I made fish wraps and unbaked lox pie and bread. It wasn't blood pudding. I'm not sure why there's so many. Two, three, four. Good enough. Breathe glands. Meat. Mushrooms. Grey Dwarf eyes. Little pal. Okay. I got all this shit. Put this here. Under. That should go there. Go there. I still need a swamp key because I'm collecting iron right now. I wonder if I'll ever use this chitin. I have to make the abyssal mask, but that's just, I just don't give a shit about the pets. I'm never really short of that stuff. Although it's because partially in this game I never really like rush to have a huge amount of everything. Okay, so I'm going to go check my barley farm. And I just want to make sure I should actually put, when I get back I'll start the smelter going again. Big old bird. So I'm glad that Hildur, I'm glad that Hildur is coming in, so maybe she has new things to sell. Because as I was saying before, it's like, that's weird, I have like 10 Gs, nothing to buy with them. Kind of a weird way to go about it. What was I doing here? Checking out how my flax is doing. Wildly varied. Alright, I've got a while on that. Flax and barley, you could have like a huge field and keep churning it out, because you actually do need a lot of it. But no, there's no rush really. Okay, so it's nighttime. So what I'm gonna do is I'm still gonna go to the swamp because I got a lot of iron shipping to do. And it doesn't matter what time of day it is if you're in the iron mines. So I'm gonna have to do another shipping trip to this is actually not that far from my base. This is the next continent to the northwest. So I gotta get motor soon. So here I've stumbled into 2 more crypts. So there's this crypt here which I've almost cleared out of iron. The iron's all gone, I just have to kinda nab it from the chest inside. And then I'll run that in, and then I'll do 1 or 2 more. I'm not wet. It's interesting. There we go. Okay. It's weird to have it. Okay, here now it's registering. Okay, let's put on our headlight. So this place is nice to get Surtling cores as well. So it's pretty nice to actually have a reason to go to the swamps, I guess. It seems weird to say, but I managed to pick up some blood bags, which maybe I need for some. I know you need it for the blood pudding. So I'm trying to pick up some blood bags, and Surtling cores are always useful. But I'm not really going to fight these leeches at night. It's too hard to see them. Just stand here stupidly. If you don't see like the ripple in the water, it's a little bit hard to farm for leeches. Okay, this one's done. I had kind of a cozy moment last night. I was like, Oh, hey, big guy. I played... Robert Kennedy Jr. was on Joe Rogan. So I listened to like about the first hour of it. What the fuck is that? I listened to about the first hour of it while I was making dinner. And then I listened to the second 2/3 of it while I was playing Valheim last night, which was basically just iron mining and like shipping stuff back and forth and doing some farming. And it was like one of those moments, like sometimes, I'm sure other people feel it this way, but like sometimes like the game you're playing and the thing you're listening to kind of like hit this synergy where you just kind of like remember that moment basically indefinitely. And it's never anything you like expect. It's weird. Like I remember distinctly playing like parts of Divinity Original Sin 2 and then like listening to like a random like CSGO podcast with like Thorn and Semler or something, and I still remember that to this day. It was like 5 years ago. Just sometimes I have a lot of memories of that too. Just like sometimes the game you're playing, the thing you're listening to just turns into this like kind of like, it forges some sort of like acorn of memory, and that's interesting. It was kind of happening like that last night. It was just like a cozy moment. I think I hate American politics, and I've like learned to pay as little attention to it as possible, but I find Robert Kennedy like really interesting. Like it does remind me a little bit of Trump in like 2015, in that it's like, holy shit, here's like a person doing some like wild shit, you know what I mean? Here's some person saying this some wild shit, and like as much of a dumpster fire as it is, not this, but as much of a dumpster fire as it kind of was, it's still like it's a little bit like exciting. Like he has a very low percentage chance of like, you know, getting into office, etc. Especially being on the Democratic ticket with a Democratic incumbent. And like the things he says like pisses a lot of people the fuck off. For sure. So, you know, a little complicated. Even like just by nature the things he talks about are really gonna rattle people, and he's like getting censored a lot, etc. But he's like the first person in a while who you're like, okay, shit. It's kind of like a little bit Bernie Sanders-ish. Like he's kind of making like an unlikely run against the odds. I respect that. He's also like a Kennedy, you know? Like if it works for him and he manages to like catch the public eye, having the guy like redeem his father's run, who should have been president, and like could potentially have been a really good one. That's like, I mean, he's not likable enough at this point. I'm not saying he's unlikable, but the things he's talking about are like really gonna piss off the like fucking insane kind of like culture we have right now. But if he like kind of catches fire or like finds his middle ground or whatever the fuck it is, like it's a really beautiful story. So I don't know, I'm rooting for him. From the first time he was on the All In podcast, well, from the time he was on the All In podcast, it was just once, I was like, okay, like this is who I would vote for if I was Canadian, if I was American, for sure. Just to like stir the pot a little bit. I think you always want the disruptor, but then you kind of go for the safe choice after that. You know what I mean? That's kind of like what the pattern tends to be, I think. I think it's too generalizing to speak, but since the system is like such like a fake competition, it's always natural to kind of like bounce back and forth between two like rubber banding aesthetics. I feel like getting poisoned. And I'm rooting for him. I'm not American. And I'm probably not going to donate to him. It'd also be funny. I was thinking about this today when I was driving home from the gym. It would also be really funny to have Cheryl be the first lady. Just like think of her sick in bed on Curb Your Enthusiasm with Larry David like feeling up her boobies because he likes the idea of sick sex. That's the first lady. Larry's like, oh, this is weird, I felt her up. Like disrespect her character constantly. But she always came out as like the normal one in that. Pretty funny, I think. I mean, she's got the look for it. She's like very like beautiful, like in a like, kind of like an expressive, elegant way. I always like Cheryl. Cheryl, I fell in the toilet, Cheryl. You left the seat up. One Larry David move I like is being like living in a city like LA and being like a low-key rich guy, like driving like ever since like 2014 he's been driving a Prius. The guy's worth like $700 million probably. It's funny. People are kind of like stunt with their cars and kind of judge how people are doing, but he's like just people worth $4 million with a $1 million car, and then there's this guy just like. God, he's just packing a huge piece. He's packing a huge piece in his panties, and just no one knows about it. Okay, I don't need so many entrails. I don't need this ooze. Okay, so we're already at too much. Fucking iron, man. Okay, see if I can make it back to the home base. Not sure I will. He's just packing a huge fucking cucumber and squeezing it into a tiny little car. Okay, made it to the entrance, which is good. Toss the iron here. Do I have 230 stacks? No, that's too much. Okay, there's the iron. Keep going. It's nice when there's a chest right there. Feels like I could make a chest, but can't really drum up wood out of nowhere, you know? Can I take all the ones from here? Yeah, okay. So will this be a area I can get through or no? Not worth the durability hit. I don't know, I like Larry David a lot. Ever since the show became popular, it's always like, can you handle this guy's personality or not? Or is he too neurotic and too like difficult? I think it says a lot about who you are, what you think of him. Just generally speaking, I found like the Seinfeld aesthetic, it's interesting how divisive it is. Like there's something about it that despite it being like universally hugely successful, it prompts a lot of people to say they don't like it. But like, I think it's like a lot of people have a really highly tuned radar for. Oh, what a shot! Holy shit, I'm nuts. I think a lot of people have really high, excessively, in my opinion, highly tuned radar for like celebrity arrogance or something, where they're like, "Fuck this guy," you know what I mean? He's not better than me. I could have been a comedy writer or something, you know? A lot of people are like that. So something about like the Seinfeld aesthetic kind of ruffles some people's feathers, I find. These fucking bones, I'm so sick of them. Like, just pick up the fucking amber pearl, thank you. Oh, did I see this one already? Yeah, okay. They're like, oh, he's not that funny. I never actually liked the show that much. But like, there's a lot of shows that are like less successful that everyone's like, yeah, that was good. I don't like have any issue with that. Like, I can just acknowledge that it was successful. But there's something about Seinfeld that people are like, whatever. I didn't actually really like it. I didn't actually think it was funny. Like, that's an interesting opinion. And the same thing with The Curb. The Curb is like a super unique show with a good vibe. And he like he does all of it himself. Like, it's like a lot of the writing, etc. That's amazing. But it's one of those things where like people somehow think it's interesting to register their like disapproval, like it sets them apart or something. I just don't think they like the kind of whiny attitude of those guys. I'm not saying what you think I'm saying. It's not that. Nice. TFW, you get that sound of hitting the slime. There's a song, there's like, my gym has like a playlist they change like maybe once a week or two, which is like a little annoying. You could always have new music if you wanted, but that's not really the way they do it, whatever. It's usually like newish songs and then 6 scrap iron. Holy shit, what the fuck happened there? It's like newish songs, but it's mostly like songs that are kind of like remakes or redos of like that kind of like classic 90s dance vibe, like Show Me Love and like, not like CNC Music Factory, but like that kind of dun 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 dun, or like Daft Punk or like ATB or fucking Armin van Buuren or whatever. All that like late 90s, early 2000 shit. What are these guys? Entrails, don't care. But there's one song that's like a newish kind of R&B song that they're playing a bunch lately, which I actually think is like kind of sticking with me a little bit. It's got like a horn sample to it that's like whatever it is. I'm like, okay, this is pretty fucking dope. And I like it. I'm like, this is a pretty good, sometimes it's all you need, right? It doesn't really matter what the song's like. It kind of sounds like, the way they sing is a little bit like Pumped Up Kicks-ish. But it's just got, I don't know, it's all you really need is like, if you have a fucking dank-ass horn solo, you're good. That's all it takes. Something I've really changed my view on as well is like, looking back on like the hip-hop era that I was raised on, like, I don't know, Puff Daddy and the Family and like a lot of like early 2000 shit, and being like, the way that I don't know, a lot of those songs I'm also like, I kind of think are a lot more shit than I used to. Obviously I'm like, that was like 20 years ago, so I understand why that would be, but like there's a lot of songs where you're like, you take a good sample and then you just kind of like stunt over it. Like there's not a lot of times where like they're adding anything besides like just like flair and personality. Oh, that was satisfying. So that's like, I think it's kind of shitty, to be honest. Whereas like a few years later, and then kind of concurrent with that time, if you compare that to like the Kanye West like additions he had to sampling, like the way that Kanye West looked at sampling and how much he added to the music and have made it his own, it's like actually so incredible. Like it wasn't until like, well, to some degree, Graduation. No, what's the second album called? What's Kanye West's second album called? Anyway, that one was a lot more original music because so much of his like producing for other people was mostly sample based, like all his Rockefeller stuff, and then like other songs they do for other artists, which would always be so good. It'd be the kind of beats that like you're like, sometimes I would almost like his beats for other people more than the beats he do for himself, because like they were kind of in his formula, and his formula just sounded so good. Like even like he has so many good songs, and then College Dropout comes out, and it's like a little different. It's a little softer. It's a little more melodic. It's like it's a little more out there, and like, but his beats for other artists would be like, just kind of what you were expecting from him. And so it was always kind of interesting to be like, actually, sometimes I'd almost kind of like that stuff better. Of course, they don't hold up as well, but whatever. So it's just kind of like, so much of that music sounds... Scrap iron here? Okay, what do I drop? Which of these things do I not give a shit about, really? I think it's leather scraps or chain, or rubies, or another thing of amber, yeah. I think this one's done now. Is there more passageways? Is there more passagewave? If there's red mushrooms in here, that'd be nice. But they ain't. Oh yeah, there's more here, right. One of the most annoying things, I was thinking about this yesterday, as I was experiencing it firsthand. One of the most annoying, cringy, fucking horrible things about the swamp is trying to cross from like platform to fucking platform of land, and you're trying to like fight a surtling or something that's like on this little elevated type of crater, and you just dip into deeper water, like waist height water, for like a quarter second, and then your weapon and armor gets unequipped, and you're like, okay, yeah, all right, we get it. Okay, yeah. That shit's so annoying. Is there iron here? No. Okay, where are we going? Do we get any more, or is this gonna take us back? I hate it when you go through one of these little tunnels and there's a guy waiting here to shoot with an arrow. That's always very rude. Okay, we're done? Nice. Just a perfect amount. Okay, so now I have enough to run back. So I shall do that. Can't take any more of that. What I should do, how much is left? 20 and 30, 50? How much I have on me? 34. So I should, how much do these things weigh? 2.3. Anything's weigh anything at all? No. Coins weigh a bit. Whatever. It's gonna be 3 trips. Oh. I feel like this Prospector's helmet, the light is looking kind of weird. One thing that kind of weirded me out when I was playing this biome, which I don't find weird now, is like how minimal the music is. The crypts had no music, and out here is like one kind of like double bass thrum, essentially. Just that. Kind of weirds me out a little bit, but now I think it's pretty cool. You gotta have something. And the crypts don't need anything. You're underground. You know what I mean? There's no thing to have. It's a nice touch. Because the meadow and the plains and everything have kind of like a lilting feel to the openness, but here it's like the fucking ominous murk. That's cool. I would sweep up some leeches here if I had some room in my inventory, which I don't. Okay, so I gotta schlep 2 more loads of iron, and then I'm gonna see whether I'm gonna do a 4th crypt or not. It should be like at least 150 iron. That should probably be enough, because you needed something like 50 or something to make the weapons, and then you need more for like the other stuff, because the dark metal is like not taking that much space. Like, even, like, the black metal weapons still need iron or something. It's kind of like a fucking flavor text. And the other thing I have to figure out is, for the entire time I've been playing Valheim, pretty small files, I've been recording it. But, like, I'm not going to go through, like, 200 plus hours of footage for highlights. And, like, what's the point of putting up an entire Valheim playthrough, especially one that's not done? So, 1, I have to figure out what the next thing I'm, like, recording and posting is. And 2, what am I doing with all this? Am I just going to eventually delete it? Am I going to, like, put it up for archival purposes? Kind of, to some degree, I kind of think I would do that. The files will upload quickly. I could upload, like, 5 a day. But, like, it's kind of obnoxious. I guess I could even look at this. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so it's gonna be like, wow, that was intense. I'm an asshole. He almost pushed me through the portal. That would be funny. I'm not sure this ever happened before. Ooh. I'm really trying not to damage my own fucking walls here. Minimal success. I could even put it on YouTube and just keep it. I can even put it on YouTube and keep it private just to have it. I don't see the point of that. I'm not like a public figure. I don't need like documentation of everything I do. But I have like hundreds of gigabytes of like recordings from this game. But all of it's like me like chopping wood and fucking chit-chatting. You know what I mean? Like, what is the purpose of it? There is some benefit to it if I eventually have a pretty sick base, which I do, and will have an even better one. So eventually I'll do like a video reveal, you know what I mean, of what it looks like, etc. But like, what am I doing recording all these? 2 things in neck tails is not important. That swamp key's gonna float there forever. I'm just gonna have to eventually pick it back up. Okay, I forgot to put those poison arrows back there. It's a nice thing with the crypts is you get some bonus arrows if you ever just don't feel like doing it. If you get low on feathers, you can use weaker arrows. Alright, poison arrows, iron head arrows. So it's chain, leather scraps. What else? Nothing. Repair the pickaxe. Gotta load up that coal, take this other 25 stack, put it in there. Again, I'm gonna have to eventually get some more wood. So it goes. So I'm a little more focused on iron than black iron right now. I don't like how hard this is to put in. Okay, put both those in there. Oh, I only have 4. Interesting. Okay. Black iron. Put it in there. Go get him, tiger. I'm gonna have to make a second. I have to make a second one of the ore boxes, I guess. I have all that silver. Just more than I'll ever need. Whee! You can still do a spin jump, you just gotta let go of W. Think. If you hold forward and you do a spin jump, you will change momentum. But you'll still keep most of the momentum, I think. If you let go of forward, you can still do a spin and land again. A little low on wolf skews. Does your stamina immediately go to full if you eat new food? I know it takes a while for your health to chunk up. I uninstalled League again because it was frustrating me and like wasting my time, I felt like. But there are some stuff with the new items that interest me. The things mostly that interest me are the way that Static Shiv is turning into like an item to enable magic using champions, because yeah, it has crit, etc., but the Static Shiv proc like murders whole minion waves essentially, especially paired with like say Luden's Echo or something like that. And the proc scales with AP, and like it just generally speaking like helps champions who have a little trouble wave clearing, etc. So seeing like Ezreal builds that are like Static Shiv, Leandries, Lichbane, that's fucking cool. Or a lot of people saying like first item on like Zoe, first item on like LeBlanc is like becoming like a really impactful item, a really impactful way to play those champions. That I think is really cool. Something I also find interesting is how I think you could make an argument that the worst designed characters in Modern League are Zeri and Yuumi, and they are like put together to like break the game, basically. That's really interesting to me. It's pretty funny. Like those are like the worst 2 champions like maybe ever made in terms of like just horrible fucking experience. But they are most definitely the worst pairing, and the thing that, like, yeah, people didn't necessarily love Jinx Aphelios meta, but like Zeri Yumi has been like the most like competitive destroying experience in like probably the history of the game. Like I think Zeri is like the most, everything people complain about Riot balance design and like champion design, I think like Zeri is like maybe the best, one of the best, if not maybe the best example of that ever. Of like, you look at her kit on release and it's like mind-blowing how overloaded it is. And the amount of things that like over time they've taken away to try to make her more balanceable. So it makes you realize how insane it was early on. Like they just removed, as far as I recall, the fact that her auto attacks would steal a chunk of opponents' shields and give her movement speed. And she just had that as like a passive for the entire like year and a half she's been out. And like from the first time I read that, I'm like, that's disgusting. Like you can't give that to someone like just like as a free fucking bonus. Like what were you thinking? And she's had that the whole time though. They're finally taking it away. Her Q, which is basically her skill shot auto attack, has, they thought maybe it was difficult to aim or something so they could give it some power, but it had, as far as I can figure out, as far as I can recall, I can't see shit, this area is so annoying, oh my god. As far as I can recall, it had a longer range than essentially every single champion 80 carries auto attacks, except maybe like level 18 Tristana. I'm pretty sure it's longer than Caitlyn's, and it had wow, that's a lot. 41 coal, holy shit. And it had, I believe, like 100 and up to like 120%. Ow. I think it's like 120% AD scaling, longer range than any 80 carries attacks, and like, you know, you could shoot when they're out of range. So that how many of these can I drop? 3 more, 1 more. Yeah, that's it. You could like you could be out of range and shoot so that they run into it. So even to some degree, it's like even more than the auto attack range necessarily that they say it is. And so I think she's like one of the most egregious champions ever. Also like the ability to just press E to get over a wall. So she's like, there's a lot of circumstances where you can expel a lot of abilities to like catch her and try to kill her, but she can just like skate over a wall away. I think she's like one of the most disgusting, like horribly overloaded, one of the worst experiences to play against and to watch in pro play ever. It's one of those things where it's like the classic Medios line of like people, game designers, especially the guy who made her, has been guilty of this before, I think. Like just basically more jacking off about how interesting and like unique they can make a character more than like actually something that's like reasonable to play against compared to the field. Like they were so off in terms of what they thought her weaknesses are. And like just like years of like a year and a half of pentakills. It's crazy. And then Yumi, you know, Yumi is Yumi. Like Yumi's performance versus Yumi's like concept were completely opposite, as we always knew. And she was like a champion to be someone to empower someone else's champion, right? And be like a supplement for people who are like newer players or wanted to play more passive playstyle. So that kind of champion simply cannot be something that like dominates and skews the competitive meta. Like how badly did you fuck up that was the case for so long? It's crazy, man. Generally speaking, having watched Pro League since like season 2 or 3, this is like one of the best 2-year periods ever for game balance and like competitive variety, champion pool, etc. They've been really, really good at like evening the field and having so people who are like a Juggernaut player or like a Assassin player or something can like make it work. They've been really good at that. All the things that we've always hoped that would be the case. But like some of those like bottom lane picks. I guess because the bottom lane pool is so narrow, it's part of the problem. But it's crazy how those two have been for so long. Like I guess they just don't want to like kneecap a champion ever. Or kneecap them for more than a few months. Which just shows how like bipolar it is. Like every champion gets like cut out of the meta if they're too strong, and then disappears for months, and then they just buff them, they over buff them to get them back. So it's like sometimes there's like real like the real rubber banding effect, or a real kind of like ridiculous oscillation. Okay, do you guys mind? We don't have to have this relationship, you understand? Okay, there's the iron. Ugh. Okay, so I'll drop off some stuff here. I love that I'm getting Surtling trophies. I haven't checked yet, but someone was saying a couple months ago when I was playing that the Surtling trophy looks extremely, extremely cool when like mounted on like a wall or an item stand or something. So they like are one of the better looking trophies. I still have to figure out what I'm going to do. I guess I could decorate the walls of the keep. I have the 4 bosses. I have the 4 bosses here. Do I have any wood on me? No. I have the 4 bosses here. Any money? No. Any arrows? No. So trophies. Resin always sneaks in. Coal. Jeez. I guess it's time. Wait, I got the top one. Never mind. I kind of fucked this up. This is ore. Okay, so crafting, miscellaneous. Where's the big box? 2 iron, 10 fine wood. Okay. Pretty manageable. So unfortunately I have to go over here and get the big jump, which I have had various success doing. There we go. Okay, jump back up. 5, the big box. I'll make sure it's even. Come on. Pretty good. Okay, so take the iron from here. So first off, drop this shit in here. Second of all, take all this. Put the ore in here. Put this 1 ooze in here. I'm gonna keep running. I got food going and like, I don't really need to sleep right now. I'm just fucking schlepping ore. So there should be enough. That's gonna be about 200. That surely should be enough to upgrade my weapons. And if not, I just have 1 more crypt that I can chunk through. Maybe I should just do the 4th crypt now that I'm like just on the... Oh, you itchy baby. There's a lot of bugs out in the morning. So... Poor kitty. These itchy points. Bugs, mosquitoes biting her. She goes out for a couple hours in the morning when I go to the gym. The itchy parts, yeah. Vibing too hard for vigorous scratching currently. Okay, we do it again. I probably could have taken Eikthyr for all this, but generally speaking, I find that it's a little bit better just to have the bone masso shit button. I mean, not that I usually think to use it. Okay, and what I was talking about. Yeah, Zeri Yumi being outrageous and outrageous for a long time, and like anyone with half a brain knowing that Zeri would be like totally overpowered and like completely overloaded, most accurately, for like an extremely long time. How much they've like ruined competitive play for a couple years. That specifically that combo, like over a year now for sure. And like just watching Zeri's performance, and be like, how do other champions supposed to like compare to this? It's been a very, very bad bot lane meta the past couple years, but otherwise pretty good. I think top lane, the role I care about the most, has had good balance. Some of the champions that are pretty common, like you can't play Gnar in like solo queue. It's too difficult. You can't control your, you can't compare with your team or anything. But I mean, there's a lot of. Can you fucking mind? Where's this guy? Where'd he go? Oh, it's arrows. Okay. I mean, there's a lot of Jax in competitive, but if you play Jax, like you'll know why. Like that guy is easy, and he's so effective. He's like, I think look at that. That's the time. That's what I'm talking about. You fall in the water for like a second, and you can't. Your weapon's gone, your stamina's gone. Disgusting. So annoying. Okay, turn the auto pickup back on. Grab all this shit. I probably should be set for life for Surtling cores now. Oh. Asshole. Alright, what was I talking about? Yeah, just if you play Jax right now, like the people have finally figured out his build. I think is an important part of it. Like people used to be like, oh yeah, or like even like if you play against like, even if you play in like whatever elo, lower elo, you'll see people go like Triforce, Blade of the Ruin King, like that kind of like that old like Ginsu's build, and they think that's what Jax is good at, is because it's like ramping attack speed, that you just stand there and become like a super carry. That is very much not how Jax works. Like the best Jaxes are like just meatballs with insane CDR. And like that's how pro players build him now. And it's only been the last couple of years. Like even items like Spear of Shojin, amazing, but it's almost better to have like Frozen Heart and Sunderer. And like if your jump and E are on like a 3 and 6 second cooldown, like no one stands up to that. And then you use the ramping attack speed as like a supplement. That's why he's so crazy. I mean, yeah, you can do Triforce right now, because Triforce is like apparently quite strong, and like Triforce rewards you staying in combat and being really like tenacious, which he is. Like try to be an 80 carry without help, getting like jumped on every like few seconds. You're not gonna be able to kill him. But like yeah, it's been really interesting to watch the way that build goes and to see that build and feel how crazy effective it is. That's why people go like Triforce Black Cleaver. Black Cleaver's a little bit weird because he does so much magic damage, but like, did I get it all? Nice. Wait, what's that? Entrails, whatever. Like Black Cleaver seems a bit weird because he does so much magic damage, and like before Black Cleaver, Triforce historically shared a Zeal item, shared a Phage, so people wouldn't do it. But the main reason people do it is because like the stickiness of movement speed and CDR is what makes him insane. Because like Jax eating into a fight is a hugely impactful thing. It's like his big play moment. Yeah, you could have that like all the time if you so chose, you know? Like you can do that all the time. So that's really fucking crazy. Anyway, yeah, so that's one of the reasons if you play him, it's understandable why he's so highly picked. He's so easy. And like the lane's annoying, especially Gragas lanes. And it's pretty easy as Gragas to outplay him 1v1. But then eventually I found like even if that's a really torturous lane to play, because you can't do anything. Eventually there's no way in like gold and platinum, for example, in where I play, there's no way that someone's gonna like play Gragas better in the late game than I would play Jax. It's just like Gragas is not easy to do everything really well later on. So eventually you're Jax in the side lane, and yeah, Gragas can kind of wear you down, but eventually like you will have enough stats to like you'll have enough stats and persistence to kill him. And then Gragas can't split push. And if you go the grass build, you might even take Demolish. which is a little crazy on Jax, but whatever. Give me that blood bag. Yeah. What is that? Skeleton? I've been playing a lot of Camille. It doesn't feel that good right now. That's like the champion I've played the most of ever. Graves, Shen, Camille are probably the three I've played the most. And Graves I just can't win on. But I love it. The shotgun, man. It's just so fun to have a character whose auto attacks are just such a powerhouse. They're such a powerhouse. So you just let that go to town, and eventually give you, like, yeah, you might die, but like give yourself a couple of items and like some crit and some lifesteal, and suddenly you're like, oh shit. That's one of the reasons I don't necessarily love playing him jungle. Like jungle is more of like a lethality one-shot build, which is nice, but it's not like as fun as like dashing through a team fight, critting for like 900 and healing for like 300 per hit. At that point, once you hit like 4 items with Graves, that guy feels like a monster. But just running around looking for like 3 shots with QR, it's okay. But like also getting crit on a jungle economy doesn't feel that great. It's the reason that people like play Graves the way they play Graves in solo queue, which is like absolutely griefing their team to some degree with like totally fucking them over to take every single little bit you possibly can of your own money, and then like undeniably carrying. The average Graves like runs through your lane, takes your stuff, takes the kill, does other things, ignores you, never does team fights, and then he'll be like, once he is like level 13 or 14, he'll just kill the enemy team like in 1v3s. And so it's like a grudging respect, but like it feels really bad to play with him on your team. There's other champions like that too, for sure. It's like, alright, he's carrying, but like this is a horrible experience. Not sure what some other examples that come to mind are initially. Hecarim, a little bit like that. Only plays for himself, but like owns people. And then sometimes he'll be like, why aren't you guys following up? I'm like, well, you just ran at 700 movement speed for 8 seconds and charged into all of them. Like, maybe not everyone can do that. What just died in the water there? Leech? What did that leech just kill? I want that blood bag, bud. Give it to me. He just ate something. Fish? Asshole? Leave the fish alone. Okay, so I'm gonna go... Oops, wrong way. Do I still have... Okay, so 30... 1, 2, 3, 4... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stacks. There's no way that I'll need more than 210. So it's time to take my ship and come get all this. And then I'll have one more crypt if necessary. That's pretty easily gettable. There's no way I need that much though. Come on, come on, stop it. Come on, we don't need that much, come on. Got an elk steak thawing in the fridge for dinner tonight. Normally I've been buying a lot of bison and other game meats if I can get them. But I bought an elk steak, and then they didn't have bison ribeyes, but they did have strip loins. Those are good enough. Not quite as delicious, but has their advantages. Anyway, I looked at the elk steak, and compared to the bison, it is very much not as fatty and much leaner looking. Like it looks like it kind of looks like what it'll be like when someone gets you like a wild caught deer steak or something. It's like, all right, this looks cool, but it's going to be like mad chewy, cartilaginous, if you will. And that kind of feels like what this elk steak is going to be like. So I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to pound it flat and cut it into strips. And I think I'm going to find some different way to cook it. I need to really lightly cook it. Do I have it with rice and vegetables? All I eat is potatoes and rice. It's funny. It's hard to say. I'll figure it out. Do I got everything I want here? Yes. I don't need the swamp key anymore. I should go unlock that last one, but I can't imagine I'm really going to do that. Okay, so 3 of these are done. Time to take the swamp key out of my inventory. So I'm not sure what I'll do. Normally, if I make salmon or shrimp, I do it with like ginger and garlic and shallots and chilies and vegetables and peppers, etc. I might do that just with steak, with elk steak. It'll just be a little uninspired. If I simmer it, it's going to get dry. I don't know. Maybe we'll get the motor buff. And for tailwinds, baby. Nothing's... This will take literally 3 times longer if you don't have tailwinds. Would I chop it up and make like a chili or something? I don't have the stuff for chili. I think I do have some beans, etc., but that takes a lot of preparation. I'd have to soak beans, see if I have cans of tomatoes. I don't have any chili peppers. I just have chili flakes and other ways of doing spices. I think that's... Really, really finely chopping it. If I did that, what would I have it with? You can do like a... kind of like a corned beef hash with like cooked down potatoes, shallots, and the chopped up elk meat. It's kind of more like lunchish though. I swear to God, if I just have that elk steak and just charcoal grill it, it's gonna be dry as fuck. I know it'll be. Something with tomatoes. Something with tomatoes and peppers. Struggle out here. Alright, is my boat cured? Alright, let's get out of here. Is there anything in the hatch? Nope. Alright, onward. Time to get harassed by my friendly neighborhood lake kraken. Ooh, one of the wood pieces is gone there. Generally speaking, this has been a little bit weird. I think maybe if I had it one space more narrow, I could fit into here. But generally speaking, this little dock has not necessarily fully succeeded, and that I can never seem to get in there properly. And it takes damage in there, and I have to kind of like upkeep it once in a while. Look at this fucker. Okay, so if he's here, and the winds are right in front of me, I now have to... Once this thing gets going, I'm going to stand up and motor, and then I'm going to motor all the way to the bone mass. Her eyes are slightly open. It's kind of unnerving. She's slightly awake. It's probably my fault. Alright. Stand up, scream, and then cruise. This is such a cool buff. It's like actually the most powerful. Compare this to improved wood chopping. Smile. All right, later, loser. Yeah, go for it. Try your best. I want to see it. Yeah. See you later. He's my buddy, though. His name's like, maybe Spike, maybe Bowser. I love, like, beefy dog names. Spike, Butch, Bowser, Bruno. I love those. Bortle? I just made that one up. Chesapeake. Sirloin. Chuck. I was talking to a woman the other day about like how to enjoy clothes shopping and how to like redo one's wardrobe and something like that. And I was talking about how like you have to find the joy in it. You have to find the joy in actually shopping. You don't have to like don't rush it. Don't be like I have to get some stuff. Let me just get in and out. I hate shopping. I feel bad about myself when I shop. You have to like kind of like be in the moment and like go through a whole store and see like do I want anything here and which things here are like things that stand up to scrutiny in terms of your own thought process and be like yeah I could actually wear this. And like you have to kind of be in that moment and spend you teach like 30-40 minutes to go through a store I think honestly and then find like two things, one thing, whatever. And let's talk about how like the people are like oh well some people are like it's insecure to be like really into your clothes etc. but or insecure or like narcissistic or shallow or whatever, but I don't think it's true. I think it's also like it's a function of personality to some degree. Like there's some people who like if you wear like a bright color, like not like a horrible clashing like super tacky outfit or something like that, but someone could walk down the street with like a brilliant blue or like a really really beautiful like yellow piece of clothing on, it kind of like it's cheering, you know what I mean? It's like a little bit vivifying. There's like a girl that goes to my gym who I see in the mornings a lot. I think she's like mad cute, like not conventionally beautiful but like pretty well put together, and like today wearing like sky blue like leggings, not leggings but like sky blue kind of like spandex short shorts, and she's like well tanned and everything, and it's like you're cheered and like happy to see this person here, but like you don't want to stare. You're like it's kind of a bit it's kind of a hard thing. Like I'm like definitely like happy she's there when she's there, at the same time like all right don't like yeah you know you kind of like need to restrain yourself a little bit. But it's just like there's something cheering about people who are like wearing bright colors in a way that's like the color is the star, not like some sort of like really lavish or tacky pattern. It's a little bit related to this. Like she's kind of like stone-faced. Like her look is always very serious. She's like just totally on her phone, all these things. Something I find funny, generally speaking. I thought of this first when I was like out on like King Street in Toronto, like nightclub area, like a number of years ago, and saw girls in like super. This is not this girl, but like saw girls in like super revealing, super slutty outfits out, and then you look at their face, and their face and expression is very different to the like kind of inviting. Inviting's not the right word, but like. The more revealing someone is dressed, often the more like sour and pissy their facial expression is. I find that really funny. A girl who's gonna be more respective and more like jokey and laughy is usually like dressed modestly, and someone who's like, damn, look at them titties. They often have like a look on their face that does not encourage someone approaching them. You know what I mean? I find that really funny. The two things are like you never have like a really like super expressive, engaging, inviting behavior if you're also wearing very revealing clothing. Like you might get yourself into like you might have too many people bothering you or something like that. Like you have to have some sort of like defenses. But someone who's like someone who's like morose and obdurate but also dressed modestly is gonna be like, why is no one talking to me, to some degree as well. It was really interesting working in like a nightclub for a while, like for a couple of years during college. Like I don't like talking to like random girls really, like not like in a nightclub where it's like you're trying to like mac on them. I like talking to randoms and like joking around and everything like that when you're feeling like a little loose and like a little boisterous, you know what I mean? But I started to realize when I was working there that like in a place like that, girls typically will give you like one direct firm glance or like eye contact, and that's all you're gonna get. And if you get more than that, sometimes it can be like a little bit too much. Like I remember like sometimes girls be like, "Oh, it's my birthday. I'm gonna have sex with that dude," and just like tell me that. And by the end of the night, I would like not really talk to them. I'm like, it's kind of like, to some degree, it's like, do I really want like someone who's like that, or is like it gets from like this is kind of nice to like this is a little bit like how drunk are you? You're like grinding with your girlfriends and everything like that. But I noticed that like typically speaking, the strongest message you're gonna get is that one steady eye contact, and like after that it's kind of like essentially up to you. That's really cool. I think that's about as much as a girl can do. Society is kind of like a little bit judgmental, but like how much girls can like necessarily initiate things in some circumstances, or like they get judged for it, etc. But it was nice to be able to learn how to pick up on that. Different levels of confidence in different people. Some people are like way more about it. I find generally for me, as someone who like in everything and like work and like relationships and everything, kind of like everything to be a little bit too easy, honestly. And I kind of like just to stumble into stuff and not have to put effort into things, and just to take the easiest route in a lot of ways. And I've found that it's actually been like a detriment for relationships, in that if it's something that like someone else wants more than me and then I didn't like have to work for and earn, I'm not going to be as into it. You know what I mean? I've kind of like seen that pattern, that the more effort I put into like getting someone, the more that I valued it. But yeah, so there's like lessons in there for like both genders. Like sometimes a girl can want to be with someone, but if they work at it too hard, then like maybe there's a reason that the other person isn't confident enough to like make it happen, and the girl's gonna have to figure out eventually like what this guy's insecurity is, or like their sort of weakness. And as a guy, you might be like, oh, this is so easy, I'm just like stumbling into pussy, but like you aren't gonna, it's not necessarily a good thing for you either. They always say like the key to relationship is like the man being more into her than she is into him. And it's a generalization. It's not always gonna be like that. And I've seen things on like Twitter recently being like every relationship is one person's really into the other and the other person doesn't give a shit but likes the benefits of being with someone. Maybe that's more the case and like less gender specific, etc. But like I think it's really rare to have something where both people are like equally dialed in. And I think that comes from two different things. One, it comes from you have to get reps in when you're younger, like teens and 20s, to like learn how to like suss through the people, because some people like just want to be in a relationship, so they're going to shut their mouth up and not like necessarily do all the discerning questions to be with the person who's the best for them. But so I find like ironically like the friends, not ironically, understandably, the people who, unless you get lucky early and find someone who you just vibe with and you guys are like good forever, I find the people who dated the most and were most on the scene actually have like the best chance essentially of finding the right person, because you learn to be like really upfront with what things you want, and you will find them. You have to be really discerning. A lot of people just want to be in relationships and they'll just make it work regardless. Like my grandmother, when she got married, her husband was like, this is only tangentially related, but my grandmother, when she was like, Chris got married, I don't even know how well they knew each other, this is like the fucking 50s, was like, her husband said, I don't want to ever fight, and I'm willing to go 80% of the way to make sure that's the case. And I get that, that's fine. At the same time, like, you have to spend the early parts of a relationship when you have a little more bravado to like kind of like be firm with what things you're good with and what things you aren't, and you have to be ready to like leave someone without just kind of like swallowing some L's and sticking with it and like resenting it. You know what I mean? Sometimes like you can be in something and you're like, well, I'm pretty deep into this now, but I knew from the beginning this wasn't necessarily right. Some of these things that happened should have been cut-offs, but you don't really want to hurt somebody, and you don't want to be like too exacting, but you have to be, I think. I think it takes a real security to be like, this isn't for me, pretty early. Because you owe it to yourself, you owe it to the other person, and you owe it to, like, let's say your children eventually, to do the best that you absolutely can to be with the person who's the best for you. Whatever that means is different for different people. I've seen someone like Bowtied Bull on Twitter be like, a guy should use his intelligence and show his intelligence by getting with someone who's better looking than him. That's the only thing you can like guarantee for your children, etc. Girls, maybe it's more like a security and stability thing or an intelligence thing. I don't know. Maybe men more than women, their attractiveness is more tied to their health rather than their natural like gifts. But it's the same for both. Like, health is beauty. And so, like, you can try to hope that you win the genetic lottery and be, like, naturally very beautiful. But there's a lot of people who would be very, very good looking, but who have, like, shit skin and shit stomach and shit diet, so they are not anywhere near it. Notice how many girls there are who, like, or notice how more, I notice this more in girls than guys, but notice if someone has a lot of, like, acne scars or pock marks, that they instantly start to have, like, things like, fuck it, I smoke cigarettes now, because their skin's already bad, so might as well do it. But, like, you can come back from so much of those things if you don't have a bad self-esteem about things. Self-esteem and like deciding how much you deserve and how well you should be treated and how well you should treat yourself is so important for like health and therefore beauty. All you need is like 3 months of good living and some sun on your face for people to be like, wow, you look great. You know what I mean? Anyone can do that. There's a lot of times like people who are like early on, maybe their parents treat them well, maybe they're naturally healthy, maybe their diet and environment matches their like genetic profile. There's a lot of people who are like a lot better looking early and it with like in their teenage years and they can just coast on that forever to some degree. But there's other people who could be just as good looking as them who just like aren't as healthy, whose parents are like feed them shittier food or don't understand things. It's so much about like skin quality and like glow. And then everyone's, I don't know. There's so many people who are like, there's nothing worse than like people whose parents deal them a raw fucking deck because they just don't understand how to eat properly. I felt like such a fucking monster yesterday going to the grocery store buying bison steaks, like goat yogurt, vegetables, fucking all the good stuff. Frozen berries by the 100-weight. Watch how many, go to a grocery store, look at people's carts, look at like a 50-year-old woman's cart, watch how many carbs are in there. Watch how many people are buying alcohol at like 11 in the morning and just recognize how many people are just fucked. And a lot of it is like our culture. Like look at our stores. Look at Canadian and American stores and what's available in them. Like, I drove through the US to get to Quebec from Vancouver. And like, go to a gas station. And like, this is just like a point of argument, but go to a gas station and count the amount of calories available in that gas station. Like it's hundreds of thousands. You understand how fucked that? It's a gas station. Everything in there gives you cancer. If that's what you eat. Do you understand that? Do you understand like that we don't need food in gas stations? We don't need to have hamburgers, hot dogs, and fried chicken in a gas station? And then guys take, like fucking rednecks take their fucking 8-year-old kids there because that's the closest meal is to go get like some fried chicken at the store. Do you understand how many times that oil has been reused? And it's trash oil anyway? It's so fucked up, man. Like, it's like, I think it's like that American dream of like everything for everybody everywhere. But like, maybe if stores had food that were food stores, maybe people would eat better. You know what I mean? How much am I carrying? 2,300? Oh, I'm a fucking beast. Oh, I don't have the stamina for this. Oh, shit. Okay, maybe eat an onion soup to help with this. Okay, can I reach the thing from here? I can, right? Nice. Okay. It's just like the way it's just really fucked with me, man. Robert Kennedy was talking so much about how like our kids are swimming in a toxic soup, and that is true. I also think that like the American profile of like food weakness and chronic disease is so much about what food is available and like what things we allow in like grocery stores. Even like look at the average place. Look how many like enriched flours and starches there are. Fucking crazy, man. Think how many products in a grocery store are actually real food. Things that you like convert into nutrition. It's so bad. You have to like sometimes I'll be like when I was like a huge stoner and like had no fucking self-control. Like a friend of mine would quit weed and he had like I got a box here with like all this I got a box here with all this like leftover pot from before and like rolling papers, everything for a guest need it, and I can just leave it there forever. And at that point I'd be like, oh, I couldn't do that at all. Like I would just like eventually smoke it because I'd run into like I'd start to get like bored and start to get shifty and I'd think about it and I'd smoke it and then like the next week goes to shit. But that's like a test for that person. But like eventually the thing I realized is like one, it's mindset. You have to get to a point where you're mentally healthy enough that you actually have firmness to your decision making and thinking clearly. Like this most of my life I wasn't thinking clearly. Now it's like I know these things are better, and you learn with like cigarettes, you learn with like shit food. If you get enough information about it, you learn that it's shit and you can decide that you don't want that. You know what I mean? You can like act. You can be on good behavior without believing in it for as long as you want, but you will slide. You like actually have to educate yourself. Or I had to educate myself about why good food was good to some degree. Like I don't like cucumbers. Read about cucumbers. Oh, cucumbers have minerals in them that you can't get, that are you don't get in every kind of food. Okay, so that's a value. There's a reason to eat cucumbers. It's like sweet, get some fucking selenium and whatever other minerals. Awesome. You have to look at it that way. You have to learn why things are shit so you can learn to hate them. You can't just be on good behavior and try to fool yourself forever. That's why there's like so many starving people out there thinking they're trying to reduce their calories and they just really just want carbs. And they're like, oh my god, I love having french fries or nachos or all these things. Because they're like starving themselves most of the time on non-filling food. And then having like the trash 800 calorie thing of fries like on the weekend or like once a week. You have to learn why good things are good. And why that's what you want. And it's not gonna be like, ooh, I had a fucking... It's not like, ooh, I had some oysters today, I instantly am a renewed person. You have to realize 2 months later how much better your life is. You're like, oh, I'm way more chill. I'm happier, I'm sleeping better, I'm eating better. All those things kind of like come together, man. There's a lot of periods, there's a lot of years. Like most of my life, I would have like 3 good months and 9 bad months a year. But like the good months, I was running ahead to try to distance myself from the inevitable bad months. But they would catch me and they would find me. Regular mushroom dosaging was a big part of it. Like actually fixing my fucking brain. But also like getting out of cities, honestly. My least happy periods of like the past couple of years have been like 2 months in Toronto or like whatever time I've been spending in cities. They suck, man. They're so bad for you. Irradiated soil, like horrible noise pollution, walking on concrete, huffing concrete dust everywhere, cars everywhere, your sleep interrupted by bullshit, harder to find good food, you can't get out in the sun easily without effort. The reason I left Vancouver, I completely forgot about I was trying to think of the time I've been in a city. I used the 2 months in Toronto, completely forgot about the 6 months in Vancouver. Most of the Vancouver time, to be fair, I was living in my head streaming for the first time in my life. So yeah, I went out to the gym and I went out to eat on the weekends, etc. But like, I basically just live in my head now that I've been streaming so much. Doesn't matter where I live, so that's why I choose to come here to spend 38% of my rent of that I was spending in Vancouver to have a house to myself in like a place with one neighbor. You understand how good that is? Do you understand how much better it is for my wellness? And like in an age with mostly online work, etc. Unless you need to be in a city and want to be like a grinder, but that's okay. You don't need like, you don't have to be that guy. It's way better to like leave the high real estate areas and be somewhere where your life is better. Because health is wealth to some degree as well. Some people are like, oh well, I'll retire at 55 if I'm do good enough, and then live in like a fucking like downtown Toronto for 3 decades and get cancer. It happens. I know people it's happened to. It's already happening to them. There's a guy named Bowtie Broke on Twitter who talks about that a lot. He's like, these guys work and grind other people down their entire lives, then die at 62, 3 years short of retirement. Yeah, you banked like 8 mil, but like it's for your family who now don't have a dad. It's not worth it, man. There's so many ways to make money now. And jobs are grindstones. Like, don't get me wrong, I feel bad currently with the fact that I haven't been able to monetize this yet. I don't aggressively market, and maybe like people are just looking, maybe because most people who watch Twitch are like 16 to 22 or whatever. Like, it's hard to establish a niche if you haven't been doing this for 10 years. Like, I'm very aware of that. My life is fucking sick right now. I have no worries. I'm like actually healthy. I'm like cruising. So it would be nice if some other things were coming into place. I don't want to do this for like 2 years just burning money. I would like this to like, things are growing, but they're growing at a small rate where it's still, if you talk about it to other people, they're like, oh, you're not making it. And that's true. But growth is still growth. So I feel okay about that. But I'm telling you, like, if I continue with this and it starts to work, if I start to shift my paradigm and start to like open this up to actually get attention, the first dollar I earn from this will be the sweetest dollar I've ever earned, honestly. Like the first time that I've had like true agency over what I'm doing. That will feel really good. So that is kind of buoying me up a little bit. But you kind of have to accelerate before you accelerate. So I'm chilling, I think, too much. I don't want to be like, here's my thumbnail, here's my soy face thumbnail, and here's me doing like video game reviews, and like here's me trying to get like fucking Zoomer attention. It's not gonna happen. But like I do have to figure out how to get like a tribe, you know what I mean? I just want to be the guy playing this for people who, I just want to be the guy playing things for people who don't have time to play these things. I want to be like the vicarious one. People being like, I have a lot of friends who watch games more than they play them. There's a lot of people like that out there. Someone with like, who's probably most likely has ADHD and is like spent his entire life refusing to do like default shit. I'm not trying to like romanticize myself. It's been like hard, but like you have to realize eventually who you are and be like, well, this is the things I'm thinking about all the time anyway, even when I don't want to be. So I might as well do it and see what happens. I was watching like there's a Twitch streamer named Sup Caitlin. I don't watch her really that often. Mostly I just think that she has a hilarious bitch face and is like a very honest and open attitude. I respect that. And like she was like, some guy was on her stream and he was like, look how good looking I am and all these things. She's like, yeah, you're like good looking, you're better looking than like 99% of guy Chris streamers. So you might like, the fact that you're not big means that you're just not networking properly. That kind of stuck with me a little bit. Not that like, I'm not talking about this as a looks way, but like basically someone viewing this as like a, if you're not networking, you're not hitting like a peak. But I don't know how to do that. Make a Twitter account and start like adding people? No way, man. I think you just like cruise till you hit a spark. You can always tell with someone with like a Twitter account or a social media following or something like that when they're like overcompensating to be like desperate to hit success. And that like is a huge turnoff for me. There's someone I was following on Twitter for a while who's like, I really need to make this work in 6 months or I can't do it. That kind of like blood in the water shit is like an instant unfollow. It's like, ugh, gross. Ugh. I'm not here for you like that. Maybe I should have waited to use the motor buff. Okay, it took me from here to here, basically. 5 minutes. I should have waited till I got into this area to do it. Because now I gotta deal with this asshole. I have to go along the... I'm gonna have to hug the western coast. Unless the wind changes. Oh, here it goes. Something I've read a lot about, which I learned that I've been enjoying, is like how much hydration isn't about raw water, but it's how much like you're not sweating out the water as much as you're sweating out the minerals. You know what I mean? The electrolytes. And like I've really noticed that difference. Like pouring a huge glass of water before bed, not really drinking that much water in the evening, pouring yourself a huge glass of water before bed and melting like quality salt and magnesium chloride in it, and then you drink that in the morning. It's like this beautiful thing. It's so much more about the caliber of water you drink than how much. That's been a big thing I've realized. I probably drink like 4 to 5 tall glasses of water a day. Before I used to drink like a full 3-liter wine bottle full, a glass bottle. But I was drinking like tap water. You understand how much I was fucking myself up? Toronto tap water? Fucking shrinking my own testicles. Alright, so we are absolutely stacked with iron currently. We have a lot of good forge stuff. That was a nice swamp trip. It wasn't as bad as I thought. It was a couple of hours, but it was pretty cozy. It didn't feel like obligatory. Each one was giving me like... It's all about the chests and the crypts. Yeah, it's nice to smack away at the muddy piles, but the enormously... The outsized influence on how much iron you get in a crypt is just how many of those chests that with like 18 to 20 you get. You get like 2 or 3 of those chests and you're like... That means you get 80 or 90 per crypt, basically. Really cool. Beautiful water. The really light drums of this song really do it for me. This is my second favorite song behind the Meadows one, probably. The Plains song, the kind of like lilting, quasi-Celtic melody, it's been doing it for me so far, for sure. So I don't really know how much more plain stuff I have to do. I've gotten the 3 idols. All you need is a bit of flax and barley to start your flax and barley going. I have enough equipment now to like get my full armor sets. So really I just now have to figure out where the boss is and how to find where the boss is. I assume you do those fucking goblin villages until one of them has a Vegvizir Uglyph in it. Right? My way off base of that. I also, with the way the wood the glass does not look good with wood or stone. Kind of weird. I think it's gonna be next year, but I'm really looking forward to when the Suikoden 1 and 2 remakes come out. As I said before, despite Konami being bastards, I do look forward to those more than I look forward to Eiyuden Chronicles, though I will play it. Suikoden 1 and 2 have some of the best music ever in an RPG. Ever. Suikoden 2 is like one of like the absolute best video game soundtracks. It's so melodic, it's so beautiful. Okay. Yeah, just fall in the water, sure. Let's do that. Okay, so drop some of this shit off first. Sorry, baby. The noise I make when I'm giving her food. I have to give her a treat. Hold on. Sorry, sweetie. I need to wake you up. All right, where are we at here? Oh. Okay, I gotta get all the shit out of the fucking car. By car, I mean ship. A little rock pile I hop over every time. Probably could be a better place. I don't like using stone for... Something about using stone and... Something about using chests for stone and wood kind of bothers me. You know? Like, you can make them into piles, so you should do that. It feels better. Okay, so here's the problem. I want to load myself up completely. Come on. Come on. Yeah. So I removed this little wooden pile here so I can actually climb up the stairs. Yeah. Let's go. Boink, 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 boink. Okay, so now we have a reality at hand that we need to absolutely go off on iron for a bit. Okay. Wait. Motherfucker, they're backwards. All three of the top ones are backwards. God damn it. I don't know what I think about that. It looks bad from the back. Alright. How did I ever do that? I guess because I made this stack and then this stack. And so it somehow remembered it or something. Oh, it's so cringe. Oh, I want to puke. This would be a time to bring back the old smelter, but whatever. It's not that necessary. Okay, so I'm going to do this right now. Take all. Oh, I want to throw up. Can you please just jump up there? Thank you. Hey, pal. How you doing? Precision poke. It's like Shaq beating up a 8-year-old. Alright. Alright. This is the one that I spent a lot of time working on too. So the 2 lines go over here. Got it. So it's a little easier now because there's line up with this one. Okay, good. So now, put all this stuff back. Boink, 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 boink. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 slots. Too much stuff. Okay, so put it in here. Take these out. I'm sure you can just drop it. Okay. Okay. What's that angle? Be a bit better. Okay. Drop the shit back in. It's funny that you can step on a chest. But you can't open the lid. You're standing on it. You fools. Okay, I'm gonna move this one too. Take all this fucking resin. Oh my god. Details. Okay, drop 2 of these. Okay, this is the hard one. How does that look? Pretty good, actually. It just needs a little more centered. Oh, what's the fucking iron? Oh my god. Kill me, please. Thank you. No room in inventory. Oh, I picked up the resin again? Sheesh. Okay. Okay. Okay, so roughly on, so basically the edge of it has to be on this bar here. Alright, that's good. Okay, all the resin back in. This shit I'm never gonna use ever. I guess I could use more torches. Smile. Okay, so I need to go check my farms. Restock this thing regularly. Alright. So I'm gonna go nab another thing of flour, barley, whatever. Flax. Boom, boom, boom. 59 flax here. I'm gonna go pick up flax so I can load up the spinning wheel now. These angles are a bit weird. I think I just need to move this over a little bit. The fact that it just spills onto like the smithing area is like just a little bit ghetto. It's better to put it so I feed it from here and it goes here. Okay, drop the rest of that back there. My onions are probably ready. I've been on a lot of travel lately. It's a neck in there's a neck in my neck of the woods. I like that. Why are they called necks? What kind of weird translation from some Scandinavian weirdo language is that? Oh my god. Getting up at like 5:30 in the morning recently. It also used a transfer. The second you go down here, it changes. Isn't that weird? It only happens to flax. The second you get down to its level, it transforms into being ready. Oh, for the old days when I was just farming carrots in a small field with dandelions in it. Outside of like a one-room shack with the elder buff looming overhead. I don't even think it was the elder buff. I think it was a Grey Dwarf shaman head. Those are the good old days. Okay. 8. So I'm more worried about flax than barley right now. Need a food. Make this a little easier. So the stamina does take a second to regen. Okay, got it. Do it this way so you can, because it's kind of hard to stand at the rock and drop immediately down. Put, 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 put. He's like slower with this thing. What's the movement speed slowdown on this? Doesn't show that. It doesn't say there is any. But compared to like the axe, it feels like they have the axe out basically. Okay, why is this the way that it is? 6 cultivate. No, 8 cultivate. This looks weird. Don't care for that. There you go. So I used to get attacked by mosquitoes sometimes over here. I hope that doesn't happen right now. I can't believe how lucky I am to have this plains here. This is like one of the sickest setups ever. I didn't even notice. I thought this was all meadows the whole time. This is like actually perfect. And I've had this base for so long. That was just my merchant portal. What a lucky confluence of circumstances. Okay. See, now I'm against the wall, so they're being annoying. It's a weird... No. You attack my flax, you asshole. Blue Jays brawling outside my window. You'd love to see it. Okay, so you do this one. A funny thing about streaming is, or choosing what games to play next, is you play a game and it reminds you of a different game, so you think maybe I'll play that game, like RimWorld, to some degree is kind of like this. But then you're like, well, why would I play 2 games that are like the same in a row? It's annoying. So it's some combination of variety and doubling down on the things that you like. And I haven't really got like a good feel for that yet, I would say. Is it 40 or 50 that goes in there? Whatever. I'll take half back. Combine those. So like, I know what kind of games I like to play. It's a decent amount of kind of survival build. There's some survival base building kind of stuff, but mostly it's like turn-based tactical strategy games with like parties that you build. Those are my favorites. And then occasionally a sweet RPG. I haven't played really any shooters. Someday I'll probably, maybe one day I'll bust out the Doom Eternal. Maybe. My pies and breads. So one thing I need to remember is I don't necessarily need to use wood for all this shit because I have just so much coal. So just keep packing this bad boy out. Thank you, Surtling Cores. You're so great. That's another advantage of this bone mass portal buff. Is that these are some... There's like 3 little Surtling Core areas there. Sheesh. Okay, I'll keep the coal on. Let's go to bed now. It's too dark to do anything useful. And then I'll tally my iron in the morning. I tally my iron and linen. And I think I can make... I should actually set up the black metal. I should set up one more thing of black metal before I go to bed. I'll tally in the morning. And then I'm going to make a lot of armor tomorrow. Like a lot. Can't stand this. 2 more iron. And go to bed. Whew. Hopefully it doesn't disappear by morning. It's stolen by fucking goblins. And so, once I build a fully stacked armor set and as much food as I can make, a 20 stack of all the foods, a 20 stack of, so there's blood pudding, bread, pie, and fish tacos. I'll compare which one's the best, and once I make like a truly excessive amount of those 3 foods, and then get my armor set as fully jacked up as possible, then I'm going to... I have to go find where the boss is. And then something else to consider is, do I delay my like playthrough until we get to a point where there's new planes stuff? How long is stuff on the PBR? This thing's still going. Like, how long is things on the PvE for? That's what I'd like to know. Boom, boom. Okay, so some of this stuff's got to go up there. Coal and Surtling Cores go up top. Put the iron in here. Put the black metal in there. The linen goes in this one. 100 linen now. Nice. Okay, so then to fully stock up the things again. So 50 coal. 5. And then 3. There. 20. Just drop it in there, dog. Okay. Damn, we're rich. Any coal left? Yes. Any iron left? Yes. So, now, I'm gonna take a little time to make food now. I should maybe... Okay, so blood pudding. 25.75. $25.75. How does that compare to the bread? Better. So the bread's the one out. Is that thistle and blood bag again? Fuck, I could have got some thistle. Thistle, blood bag, barley flour. Got lots of thistle actually. Blood bag I do not, but I have a decent amount. Barley flour. And then meats, lox, fish. Just whatever. And then I need cloudberries is the last thing. Okay, so blood pudding. Inventory full. We're having a rough time over here. All right, so drop one of those. Okay, blood pudding. I mean, just a stack of 10 is fine. I got perfectly amount of fizzle. Nice. Blood bags are pretty easy to farm again. I'll give it that. Okay. So blood bags back. Blood pudding in there. Wrong button. Blood pudding in there. And now I need cloudberries, fox meat, etc. Do I have more barley flour going? Looks like no. So I should have another thing of barley going. Did I put it in here? No, it's in the meals one. What does it say? Wood. Okay, drop a barley in there. We'll always need it. Very like SNES RPG vibes. There's always like a cozy mill in an early village. So good times. All right, so get the more barley flour. So in here we're doing unbaked lox pies. We can make a lot here, probably 10 stack. Excuse me. Yeah, we can exactly that with the lox meat we have. I didn't see anything with cooked lox meat. Nice. Love it. Okay, then the rest of the barley flour is fish tacos. Right? So cook up that fish, boy. Interesting. It does one stack at a time. No. Okay, it's fine. Why was that 7? So fish tacos. Cooked fish 2. So do a little more. You don't know anything else to do. Can I upgrade anything? No? Alright. This is weird. Like, what's the point of the fish ratings? I don't get it. Alright, cook it up. Put this back. Pick up some more barley flour after this. So I got 3 rounds of fish cooking. Luckily it cooks pretty quickly. I like how they take everything off before they put anything on. I feel like that's a change. So the problem is I'm cooking fish more than I necessarily need because I only have so much barley flour right now. I'm looking forward to once I get the new, once I get everything done. I want new roofs, clean up some stuff. I'll use the other stone to supplement that. I want to use like, I'll complicate the castle a little bit with some extra stone. There's like black stone that you can do later, right? Darkwood beams. Darkwood gate. So that'll, yeah, I want the gates for sure. Made of iron. I want to check if they're as strong as the iron gates are. I assume they are. So one more batch after this. Put most of this cooked fish away. Go get some wood for the fire. For the cooking oven. Have a big pie party. I wonder if the pies can overcook and burn if you don't take them out. Makes sense that they did. Alright. Taco time. Where's the mayonnaise at? The pico de gallo. I can make 2. Okay, never mind. Got a little excited there. Alright, so. Time to go. Cook some pies. Delicious. Boom, boom. So we now have 90 iron with more coming, correct? What's slow? Both things. Okay, so keep the iron going. Another 10. Another 7. Coal. Okay. Yeah. Have anything else? Just the coal and the iron. What So I guess the coal is only 10 at a time? Oh, okay. Never mind. I thought it was 20. Keep taking out 20. Alright. How my pies doing? Shit. They burned yet? Nice. Oh, that's satisfying. Are my onions done? Okay. Do the onions... The onions I'm kind of done with now. So I'm going to do one more double stack and then leave them here. We might be back to the point where we just do onions, turnips, carrots, and whatever the other thing is, and just leave them here. For aesthetics. I think we're kind of at that stage now. Done. A very jerky motion. Sprint, pick up, sprint, lift, sprint, lift. Oh yeah, getting the stats. The onion picking stats. Doesn't take anything to pick them out of the ground, stamina wise. Okay, the onions will go with me. Pick up my delicious pies. Oh yeah. 2 more. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Okay, so we'll do one more thing of onion seeds. Then I'll do a thing of turnips, just for aesthetics. Alright. And then the only other growable thing is carrots, right? Nice. Thank you, brother. Okay, drop the ores in there. Drop this plant in there. Drop my onions in there. Take a half stack of carrots. Okay. So then it'll be carrots and carrot seeds, I guess. Feed carrots. It's enough. How many was that? 15? All right, cool. Bring those back. So, I don't need to go back to my farm yet. I can put in more ore and coal. Gotta keep this fires burning, baby. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, so pick those up, put more in there. Yeah. Okay, so bars or so now flax, very nice. Is this still going? This one done? Okay, so I'm gonna reorganize this position. Crafting, spinning wheel. I want it to be this way. Okay. So now we put those pies away. Let's be meticulous here. Put the pies away. Take the linen. And then just a ton of ore. Boom, 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 boom. Stagger over to here. And we're now going to make a padded cuirass. A padded greaves. A padded helmet. Inventory is full, you bastards. Okay, return one of the linen. Oh, that would work better. So, just to review, I did not make the padded helmet, right? A padded helmet. And so what more do I need? Okay, so here's the question. Okay, so I'll for sure make the black metal shield. So I need fine wood and 5 chain. Roger that. So waddle over here. Drop that. Grab the fine chain. Waddle over here. So I for sure want the shield. I kind of want to use... I don't know. I'm not sure I'm going to use this. I think I'll do the porcupine and the black metal sword. So I need needles. Needles, more fine wood. Yeah, needles, more fine wood. I might not be able to make it back in time. The needles are where? Here. Okay, now I'm full. Damn it. I got too greedy. Okay, so let's drop some of this shit. Go back to normal. So I got the needles, I got the fine wood. I do not have the needles. So many bone fragments, ridiculous. Do I need more chain for other things? I guess I can do a new axe. Anything else need chain? I don't think so. This doesn't even need black metal. That's interesting. 50-45. What's the sword? Let's take a look at that. It's not a factor, right? I just go by aesthetics usually. It's amazing. Alright, cool. So, what am I missing? All the metal, right? Boom, 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 boom. To do it. Okay, so. Black metal shield. Craft. Inventory full. This game is wrecking me right now. Okay, combine those. Drop this one away. Okay. Black metal shield. Roger that. Black metal sword. A thing of death and beauty. It catches the light with a greenish glow. How can you say no to that? Okay. And then, do I have room for the porcupine yet? No, no room for the porcupine. So does this not, this doesn't need black metal, so put the black metal back. It could be one stack anyway, they're trolling me. Porcupine. Okay, so, and then I should make the axe as well. Let's compare the axe to my current axe. No. 60 slash. 100 slash. Okay, it's better. So I need 20 black metal for that. Yes, I know I'm carrying too much. I've been carrying too much this whole time. And now I don't have room for it. Okay, I don't need the needles anymore. What's that? Mob loot? So I can drop the needles back. Shouldn't need more needles for upgrades. Maybe I will. Okay, and then so black metal axe. Great. So I'm now light enough that I can drop my iron axe in here. For now. I'll do my new weapon soon. I also have the Lox pelt to upgrade. How am I doing on Lox pelts? I have enough to do a couple. I'm gonna need more though. I should pick it up. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make a bold move here. I don't have bone mass, which I probably should do something about. I'm gonna drop my old set. Oops, can't. Okay, it's time for this set to go away. Bronze pickaxe can also go away. You're welcome, pal. Okay, and then time to drop some of the stuff in the water. Maybe I'll find just like a random place for it. So, iron greaves, iron scale mail, trollhide cape. Okay, cool. I'll deal with that at some other point. So I need to get rid of the wolf armor chest, which I still have on me. Does this game have night raids? Probably shouldn't even say that out loud. Okay, there's still one too many things in here. So the extra swamp key. I don't need the antler pickaxe. I don't need 8 fucking poison arrows. 2 wishbones. Is there a black metal pickaxe? Maybe not. Maybe just like don't do this anymore. Okay, so these things need what? Coal? Could use a little light here. Okay. Is there a black metal pickaxe? I don't think there is. I would have seen that, I feel. I think we're kind of done with mining. Seems like. Yeah, iron pickaxe, the last one. Roger that. Okay, so. Do I have everything? Yes. Do I have the axe? Yes. It's gonna go like this now. With the shield here. Sword here. I gotta drop that pickaxe. So the bronze pickaxe can go. Anything else that's superfluous here? No. So here's the 2 weapons and the shield. Okay, so let's see how much we need to upgrade the full armor set. Padded cuirass, 3 iron, 10 linen. 3 iron, 5 linen. So I need 11 iron, 30 linen. So I need 1 more iron and 30 linen, which exactly I have. Nice. Okay, so upgrade padded cuirass. We're on upgrade, right? Upgrade. Okay. Padded cuirass. Padded greaves. I haven't seen what the set looks like yet. I'm going to give it the good dog before that happens. Nice. Okay, well, how much more for that? 6 and 20. So I need 60 linen. 60 linen and 22 iron. I'm not sure I have that much linen. 60 linen. No, we're actually pretty low. Okay. So that's the stopgap currently. Throw those fucking 8 poison arrows in the water. So the stopgap right now is linen. So do I have more flax? I have a flax farm going right now. I got another 50 here, so it's going in. That's 40, whatever. So barley flour and flax are kind of like the choke points right now, but it's not really a big deal. We're working on it. I should probably have a double-sized field if I want maximum efficiency. So I can conceivably do that tomorrow. So for now, I'll do Lox pelts, upgrade this bitch a little bit. Lox cape, 4, just for the 1 upgrade, holy cow. 6 more for the next one, okay. So we're going to focus on the armor first. So a short point is linen. I'm going to sleep till morning and then consider whether I will expand my farm. I'm not really too worried about the barley right now. I can still use old food. I don't have like a necessary thing I need to do. It just would kind of speed up the process a little bit. Right now I only have one or the other going, as opposed to both. I'm not sure how much. I'm not sure whether one is faster than another or not. Oh. Maybe I'll take the swamp key and put it on an item stand. It's kind of got like a nice glow to it. I wonder if I can do that. How much for an item stand? What does it need? Okay, what kind of item stands do I have down there? Oops. These are horizontal for sure. Yeah. Okay, how much for a horizontal lighting stand? The furniture? 1 bronze nail. I think I have some of those. And how much wood? 4 fine wood. That's it. That's the next thing to do. Is to go to the plains and just like chop-a-roo on those birch trees. That's some weird lag. Go grab a swamp key, see how it looks there. Oh, look at that. Spider-Man. I have a weird thing where I don't want to look at the I don't want to look at what my set looks like until I have it fully upgraded. Not really realistic currently, considering I need a lot of flax still. I don't think I need any. I don't think I need any more metal. It looks like flax. It looks like linen is the choke point currently. Don't die, thank you. Okay, so swamp key, number 1 slot. Where's this other item stand that I placed? Am I blind? No, that's the wrong one. Take item, 5, Q, 5, grab that, 5, vertical. That's pretty cool. Imagine having a whole thing of swamp keys like that. I should actually put it in the base. I'll do it later though. There's something else I was going to do too, some other different color. I think it was frost resistance potions. I was going to put as the next level of lights down there. I'll do it later. Okay, so the problem is now my low points are linen and fine wood. And I think metal's okay. But let's go check on the linen. Blue Jays are back, baby. Yeah. It looks like they take a bunch on their claws and then eat off their feet. Am I crazy? If I drop down here, is it gonna be ready? No, it's not ready yet. Okay. Roger that. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to see how the linen is working on that spin wheel. And I want to see, I can only do sets of 3. I have to upgrade all 3 things at once. I can't just do 1 at a time. That piecemeal shit bothers me a lot. She's got a little paw like this. Her left paw's got kind of like a little curl to it. It's so cute. Alright, so we have 10 flax. How much? And here we have 6. And how much is this thing still going? Takes a while. So I need 60. Is that not correct? Review. Upgrade. 20, 40, 60. And then 22 iron. So how much do we have now? 25. So I'm going to get the rest of that flax, put it in. It's still not going to be enough. So I think now the thing to do is to go fine wood collecting in the deer base in the plains. So which plains am I going to go to? Oh. Bug on my back. Ouch. Fucking black flies like attach themselves to you like a fucking leech. Okay, what's the one to go to? I can just go to this one, I guess. There's a lot of stuff around there. Okay, so let's see what the set looks like. The problem is, I think this stuff is weaker currently than my wolf set. Let's see. Maybe I'll do the Fenris hood now. See, this is 28. This is 26, so it's already better. Okay, but for now, because I'm strange, and so what's the armor on this? 3? 4. Because I'm strange and slightly autistic, I'm going to use my Fenrir set until such a point that I'm not going to touch this stuff until I have a fully upgraded set. But I will use my new axe, right? And my new axe is dank. Okay. So, there goes there. There, this goes here. Can't put these all away, so I'll just keep them for now. I'll downgrade them to this slot. And this is my current setup. And then soon, I can maybe even do the items. Soon I'll make the armor stands, build we'll do stone walls here, and then armor stand here and here for at least the wolf armor set with the crystal battle axe and the shield. No, I'll put Frostner probably in the shield there, and I'll hang the crystal axe in here. So I think maybe what I'll probably do eventually. What's this? Find wood times 4. What happened there? The fuck was that? So there used to be a chair there or something? Weird. Is I'll probably line the walls with all of the animal trophies in the background. So it'll be kind of subtle. It'll be creepy. Alright, so can I do the armor stand now? Is it furniture? It is, right? Armor stand. 8 iron nails. Do I have 8 iron nails? I think I do. No, I need to make one more. This is fun. This is a fun part of the game. Do I have enough fine wood? No. 2 more leather scraps. And 4 fine wood? Okay, and then I need stone for the block. I'm gonna put blocks on both sides just for symmetry's sake. Okay, building. Stone wall, 4x2. You need to move over a bit. It's called chamber, correct? So first, let's put this in here. And then next, we do the miscellaneous portal. Which is the right way? Right? This is the right way? Yeah. Chamber. Okay, how's this one fit? Still can move over a bit. This is called, let's just to review, this is called hub, right? Fuck. There we go. This angle's a bit difficult. Okay, that's fine. Hub connected, great. So then armor stand, furniture, workbench, still kind of cocking me. Okay, so which way is it? So I always get this wrong. So the little other leg is where? Is it this way? Okay, so get the wolf set. Okay, so 2, 3, 8. These face, every single time I get it wrong. Wait, what did I just do? I put my hammer on it. That's not the first time that's happened. Alright, okay, where the fuck's my hammer? 2. Repeat. Spin this bad boy around. Okay. So get this shit back up here. Okay, so 5. No. God damn it. Oh, I see what's going on here. Okay, so unequip. 5, 3, 8. And where's the cape? I'm gonna keep the cape for now. And then Frostner and the shield. Yeah, it probably looks better with the axe, actually. Oh, it's so annoying. Oh my god. Okay, that looks cooler. And I can hang Frostner in here. That's pretty badass. Frostner is like one of the only named weapons. It's like one of the best ones. Okay. So I don't need a second armor set, though I could just do one now. The armor stand. I'll have to do it eventually. So what am I missing to do that? 5. I don't know if I have 8 fine wood. Nope. Never mind then. So put the iron mails back. That was fucking chaff in my inventory. I should have room now. That doesn't look right. No, yeah. God damn it. Alright. Armor stand needs to be a little more back. Needs to be a little more central there, like that. Okay. So, 5, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3. Okay, nice. Okay, so I put these weapons away. So this cape is still weaker, right? Yeah. So it's not time for that to go up yet. Okay, so now we check again to see if the farm is ready. If the farm is ready, I just need to get that flax still going. Ooh, oh, fuck my bicep. I'm getting so much better in this. I'm doing a 3-month workout program, 10 weeks or whatever. No, 12 weeks. And this is the second time I've gone through it. And I'm getting so much better at like the form of it and all those things. Hey, Wilger, how are you? Okay, if I drop down here, is it going to be suddenly healthy and ripe? No, it's not ready. Okay, cool. I'm going to take my wolf set then. And we're going fine wood farming. Rawr. I'm going to change ringstones. How you doing, pal? I'm getting so much better at my form at the gym. Nice. Do you play a lot of Fallout Online? Is that your like main game right now? Yeah, like how well you exercise the activities. Like people can like slam the weights and move fast and try to get the numbers, but it's so much about like concentrating on doing everything properly so that you like do everything properly and get the most out of the experience. I'm thinking that I will probably not play Fallout 2. I've been doing a bunch of reading about it, learning like how like Fallout 1 is like a different group, etc. And like a lot of them left for Fallout 2. I think to not do all of the games, I think I'll do Fallout 1, Fallout 3, and New Vegas. I think I'll choose 3 over 4. I'll do a little more research on that, but I think I'll do that to get like every company's like best shot at the game. That's like the way I'm looking at it. Okay, I'm doing full health stacking to do the, just to do like basically wood chopping in the plains, which is weird. Yeah, I think I'll do 3. Oops, wrong one. Hold on, what's in here? Ooh, 83 flax, you say? This is going in the machine. I've read a lot about it. Some people are like, oh, Fallout 2 is bigger and it has more guns and something like that, but it's not as like tight. It's like more like non-serious and like, I mean, if the entire original design team or much of the design team Fallout 1 isn't doing it, then like I'm not sure that's something I necessarily want to necessarily put my time into. Not as some sort of like conscious objection or something, but I think I feel a little bit better. I don't know, to do 5 games. Kind of like I just kind of like cringe in my head at the idea of doing all that. Okay, what are we at? 51, we're almost there. So I think I'll probably do that. I did actually uninstall Fallout 2 without playing it. So I suspect I'll probably do that. And then sometime in the next couple of months do Fallout 3. Okay, so why do you think 4 is better than 3? And even Tactics, I guess. Why do you think Tactics is better than 3? I don't really care about Tactics, actually. Why do you think Fallout 4 is better than 3? Or why don't you think 3 is better? Or what, like, yeah, just what do you think? I'm a speedy motherfucker right now. Look at that Desquito. It's I thought that was a Desquito, but that's hiding in the fucking grass there. Would use their own needles against them? So satisfying. This guy's real mobile. This guy can't handle my speedy playstyle. These guys are gonna get attracted if I start chopping wood, I think. Oh yeah, there it is. Where is it? I can't see it. This one's real fucking twitchy. You like don't like the Bethesda approach to the game? Would you say that's fair? What if I want to do some more tar farming? Okay, this guy, fuck this guy. Oh. Oh shit, I'm gonna die. Speedy little bugger. don't have the stamina for this right now. I'm gonna die. Okay, time to retreat home. Tail between my legs. FS4 is a very bad quest and roleplay and main story. FF3 is bad main story as well. Perks are boring. Everything's so green. You spend a lot of time in the sewers. Tactics is kind of nice, but it's like mission-based game than open world. I mean, I would not necessarily. Do you like? Okay, first off, do you like? I would not necessarily complain if I was to like only play New Vegas. You know what I mean? Of like the open world ones, like that game is like appealing to me a lot, and I know a lot of people like it. So, but I have a follow-up question, being, do you? Oh, how do I get in this fucking base? Is the door closed that way? Wood door open. Okay. Okay. Let me through here. Item prevents you from teleporting. Chest empty. 1 black metal scrap. So I have a question. Do you like other Bethesda games? Just to kind of like get your metrics up in the scale there. I want to check to see if my flax is done. As I said, that's my choke point before. Yeah. Do you typically like that company's games? Like, do you think they're bad? Do you think like those follow games are bad because you don't really like Bethesda games, or do you think they're just like worse because you're a really big Fallout 1 fan? Elder Scrolls, whatever ones you played. Some people were like, I don't know, Oblivion, Skyrim. I'm not even sure what else they've made. Yeah, it's true. I mean, there's like... Maybe they worked on other games during the 90s. It's kind of like Blizzard. Maybe they have like random ass games on like consoles, like Lost Vikings or something. Armor's glisten. That armor set is glistening in the light. I like that a lot. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like sometimes, like, I'm sure. What I mean is like I'm sure there's some other like random console games, maybe that Bethesda did, because like Blizzard did Blackthorn and Lost Vikings, in the middle of like the most insane run of like computer strategy games like anyone's ever done and anyone ever will do, probably. So cool. I never played much StarCraft, but like I would like do a run through of Wrath of the Lich King like once every couple of years, man. It was just so fun to play that story. Okay, trying to drop some of this bullshit off. I might put seeds up here eventually. Yeah, his music does rule. I have a good friend of mine who is like just as much of like a big video game music fan as I am, although we kind of differ in our preferences. Yeah, and we'll talk about different people, and he's someone who doesn't really like the Jeremy Soule, just the work he did, but I think that the reason I think Jeremy Soule's music works so well in Skyrim, especially, and why so many people listen to it, it's like undeniably so good, is also because his music reflects the atmosphere of the game, even in a way that like is necessarily more than just what the game is like. Like Skyrim as a whole, I played Skyrim with like a Khajiit, like more like so thoroughly, it's unbelievable. Like every single symbol on the map, own every home, Like check out everything, do everything, go everywhere, like full playthrough. And the thing that's so cool about Skyrim, or something that I like about it, is that it has like sort of like a chilling emptiness to it. Ow. The problem with using this Fenrir set is like you get owned. It's got like a chill, like the game is cold and empty and like kind of harsh in a way that I think is really interesting. Why is this guy not moving? I have to be a little careful here. These guys, this guy I have to dodge. Because he's for sure gonna smack. He's for sure gonna stun me if I try to hit him. Oops. Oh. Jesus Christ, man. This set makes me so weak. I love it. I have to bone mass for like a 1-star fucking fueling. Okay, yeah, I believe that. As I was saying, sorry, his soundtrack works so well because it echoes the like cold, detached kind of emptiness of the game in a way, where it's so sad and somber. But that's kind of what Skyrim's like, you know what I mean? Skyrim is like buggy and open and everything's dark. There's not much humor, there's not much levity. And his soundtrack, like, you're going through that world, you're in like a certain town, and it just like works so perfectly to your feel. Because my character felt like at the end of the game, when I was done, I owned everything. I was like a god. I was like a demigod to these people. Like, so much resources, amazing towns. My favorite house, or like my main house eventually, was the one in the capital. And it felt like I was like this dark ruler of this like cold world. And that was like an interesting, lonely feeling that I think worked really well for how the game works. Like, you're sort of like a superhuman by the end. And I like that a lot. And I think his music reflects that well. Fallout 3 just feel like one of those games that like everyone plays when it came out. Like, despite it not being a game for everybody, Fallout 3, kind of like Metal Gear Solid 4, it's a game that everybody played, but it's not a game for everybody. Like Fallout 4 especially, like Metal Gear Solid 4 especially, is like probably the least accessible Metal Gear game. In some ways. Like, yeah, it looks big budget, etc. But the entire thing is inside jokes. And if you're just going to play one, if you can play a single one, play 1 or 3. You know what I mean? It's hard to play 2 without playing 1. And 4 is, and like 5 is like a completely different game. It's a sandbox basically with no story. Fallout 3 seems like a game that just everybody played. I mean, you're not sure how much people play it, but it feels like everybody played it. So I need some more Lox pelts as well. So it might be time for me to do my domesticated tasks. Yeah. I think a lot of people played it on console. Yeah, Skyrim does not have a lot of RPG mechanics. It's mostly just like a quest clearer. And mostly you just kill everything. You have to hope that's something they do better on Starfield. But Skyrim is like hard to deny the popular appeal. They really nailed that part of it. Asshole, get out of here. Asan chop! Asan chop! Okay, so how's my fullness? I can probably do one more. Getting some feathers out of it, nice. How did you stumble onto it? Like, you found a copy? The one overhead chop and single normal chop. It's like a pretty clean way to cut these boys up. Feels good. It's like how when you're cutting wood, you like cut through it and then turn the axe around and drop the axe head onto the stone to split the wood up. Okay, I think I can get one more small one. I'm not sure if there's tree sizes here. How are we doing? Still 426. I'm gonna do this to not damage this tree because I'm fastidious. Stop. Take the 0.3 damage. Yeah. Alright, so. I don't suppose any of these things have any weight. I'll take the dark metal scrap. How much does this weigh? 30? Drop 2. Alright. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure I'll play it. Fallout's one of those series where it's pretty cool to do the full run of it. But I never really had much interest in Fallout 4. Like, I wasn't convinced by the game's marketing. I wasn't convinced by, like, the things I heard in interviews. It seemed grindy to me. Ow. Run around a corner, guy throws a rock at you. This hole. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to New Vegas, though. It'd be hard to play 3 then New Vegas. Games like 3 are games where, like, you feel some obligation to play through everything, but, like, do you really want to do that? Oh, you bastard. How dare you. All I know about the game is that there's a place called New Reno. On flax. There we go. Come on. Yeah. It's a little heavier than I thought it would be. Some things have like a non-trivial weight for some reason, but I can just plow it back into soil, so it's okay if it fills my inventory up. Should have gone back. I only would have won one more trip. Sometimes when they're too close together, you need to pick up the ones around it, and then the other one will develop. So now we use this, and we start plowing the flax back into the earth. Might be time for a barley, but whatever. We'll do more rounds since we're already here. Just let me carry too much. So now this one will probably mature. Oh. Alright, so drop some wood. I probably could have done that like a few seconds ago. It's not that important to keep some random ass wood here. Stubbornness. Okay, 8 flax. Water's coming and drowning my flax. How horrible. I mean, I think the next time I play it, especially since it's first person, and I played so much melee in Fallout 1, I think I'll probably try to do some like pretty sweet weapons. But we'll see. One thing I noticed from watching Eris play Fallout 3 and or 4 is how, like, I think it was 4 he was playing, where it's like the most fun thing about Fallout is basically like every time you press the VATS button, you just have no idea what's gonna happen, and it's the most wild shit you've ever seen. Might just start going down. I think that's funny. Okay, don't attack my flax, please. Over here so we can fight to the death. Oh, you rarely see those things kill people. Play a game called do I have indigestion or am I just hungry? There's a disturbing gurgle. I think I'm good. Pretty standard diet. Okay, so that's not bad little flax field there. How much extra do we get? 47, yeah. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. My friend didn't have the energy to play FNV after he explored everything for Fallout 3. That's the same way as I felt after I played Skyrim for other games in that genre. I was just like, nah, I'm not doing this again. I think I played Dishonored 2 like 2 years later. I was like, nope. I took one look at the world map. I'm like, I am good. Okay, drop all this bullshit off. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. More of these fucking fueling heads. Oh, excuse me. So maybe I'll just play New Vegas. You never know. Okay, so we should have enough linen by now. Yeah, I can see that being a problem. So that's okay. I picked it all up. So now we have enough linen to take a break and upgrade our armor set. So we will go back in here. What thing do I have over my head? Oh, it's a pickaxe, right? Okay, we'll grab our new armor. We need some Lux pelts. You need a lot of arrows for that because I just cannot get those guys in the face. Okay, so it was 22 iron and it was 60 linen. If I recall correctly. Okay, upgrade. Padded cuirass. Padded greaves. Padded helmet. Nice. Okay. Now one more level is 27... No. 18... 33 iron and 90 linen. Roger that. Do we have 33 iron? Not currently. And 90 linen is a bit far away. 2 full baskets. So I need to step up the iron. How much was it? 33? That's not bad. Fill that bad boy up. Get that going in there. I'm not too worried about the black iron. Though I suppose I should use a little more. How much do I have? 16, that's all? Okay, so keep going on that shit then. I should have just kept that. Whatever. Did I really use all the coal already? Okay, you can just dink around this all day if you want. So do I have any more coal? No, I'll use it all. Okay, cool. Ore goes back in here. So in the meantime, drop this shit back. I make some more arrows. So it's feathers and needles, yeah? $96. Nice even number. Mob loot, needles. That's so much, man. But do you think that's partially because of all the mods? It's not like unknown for that to happen. Okay, so my goal now is I need lox pelts and I need more. I wouldn't mind doing a big stack of fine wood. More than I have. So what I'll do is I'll eat the bread dough. These. It's nighttime, so this is sort of a mistake. But I will now go and do some more fighting in the plains. Prayer Johnson. I'm good. You wouldn't happen to be selling art designs, would you? I get that vibe. Seeing your type all over. Yeah. I like that guy. I liked him more before I started following his Twitter account. He's like one of the most like compulsively online people I've ever seen. Like the kind of guy to like answer one of those like describe yourself with the last image saved in your computer, all that bullshit. He is very, very, very online. He tweets way too much. His body of work is incredible though. For whatever part he had in all of it. I bought Pentiment. I'm curious, you know? I don't know if I'll ever play it, but I bought it. Whew, if I ever had stamina for that arrow at the last second, that would have been shocking. Alright, so we're looking for loxes in the mist. I should have repaired my axe. Oh, interesting. The map looks like the map changes a little bit depending on whether you cut the trees or not. Maybe it's just those shrubs stay on the map. Okay, so for now, it's a bit hard to do lox hunting in the water, in the wilds, but I'll do it. First, I'll chop these trees down. The old two-shot. Damn. This axe is not messing around. Maybe these will all roll together, and I can get some really. Look at that. Oh yeah. All right, here he is. Back here, fucker. They're so elusive. Until that one point where they decide to hit. You never know when it'll be. Okay, I might be looking at the classic twofer. Oh yeah. That's satisfying. So, is the Josh Sawyer mod? I think I've heard this before. The one he made. It's essentially like a rebalancing mod, right? Yeah, it's basically like a director's cut. I'm not sure if he's a director or not, but it's basically like a director's cut. Okay, ate all this food. To be out here in the night? 2-star fueling? I'm out of here. More realistic. What does that mean to you? Maybe I'll try that as my like main run. Troll's gonna throw a rock at me. Normally how they start off the affair. Oh yeah, things like that. That makes sense. Trolls coming to my base. I don't like that at all. Oh, I think I should stop soon. 3 hours. I feel a little thirst of my own. Okay, there's some nice wood harvesting there. Put that in there. Resin. Deathsquito trophy. Mob loot. Feather. Boar meat. Repairs. Iron ore. Okay. So how much iron did it say I needed there? 33? Okay, you've got enough now. Nice. So iron back there. Then 10 more black metal. Okay. And then got that, and then a half stack of wood in there. Yeah, these guys show up all the time. Fucking preying on 0 to 5 viewer people with the same shit every time. I used to kind of entertain it a little bit. Now I just find it's best to ignore it. They want to get your Discord. I mean, like, they're trying to, like, convert a thing. It's just, like, duplicitous, you know what I mean? Like, they all have, like, these made-up names that are supposed to sound, like, appealing. It's usually, like, a girl's first name, vaguely. Yeah, I see one of these guys, like, every day. Okay, so I got the coal going in there. That's coming up. The linen's finished. The linen's not finished. So it was 90 linen, right? I'm gonna put some more flax in there. I got a lot. Nice. Prop that bad boy back up. Meals, put that there. I should put that actually in the hides one. It's just a little confusing. All right, so it's probably barley flour to be picked up over here. Yeah. Okay. So I'm pretty low on barley. Everything else is in pretty good shape. So my next goal is to hunt Lox pelts and get some more of their meat. So I'll do that tomorrow. I'll use the sleep buff, and then that'll be my last day before I take a break. That cat is out. That's a good sleep right there. I like to see that. Almost a day 500. We're getting there. Okay, off we go. So this gear is not ideal for fighting in the prairies. It's a little too weak. Yeah, you can ignore the bot. Or it's not a bot, or it's also sometimes like a guy who's ESL. And just like, see, the messages are kind of like a little bit rude. It's like weird to like it's weird to think that you're like entitled to be responded to when you're like actively disrespectful. There's a fucking troll here. All right, troll. Ooh. You can get the stun on those guys to go away pretty quick. Maybe it heard me say the word Discord. That's how I like triggered the next message. Okay, we're now Lox hunting at dawn. Got lots of arrows. You can drop this shit, drop this shit, drop this shit, drop this shit, drop this shit. Yeah, they are for sure. Their claws, melee stuff is not good against these dudes. I'm gonna hold off my. I'm gonna save my stamina before I do these guys. My onion soup is about to expire. Oh yeah, 200. Yeah, that makes sense. I was doing like melee, like sword and shield, like mace and shield against them, and it was like, oh boy, this is not working. Oh! Oh, did you see that? I died from fall damage after getting knocked back. What a fucking monster. Yeah, I find a lot of people play with... do you mean like the stabbing throwing spear, or do you mean the long... Or do you mean like the two-handed polearm? That was insane. That was a good death. It's annoying because I had food going, but otherwise that was a pretty sick death. Yeah, it seems like such a high percentage of people who I talk to on stream about Valheim use the stabby spear. I didn't really like it. I thought it was like I don't know. I thought it was like kind of like a boring playstyle. It didn't have like a sick combo or anything. You know what I mean? You just kind of stab, 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 or you throw it, as opposed to like the boom, boom, boom overhead of like the other weapons. But a very, very, very high percentage. I should maybe give it a better shot than I did. A very high percentage of people who I talked to in this game said they used the stabby spear. It has good range. It's very effective, just to like spam on people. Oh no, my tree's gone. How sad. Okay, time to like spam deaths now. I think this game, I think essentially almost every single weapon is bad in this game if you're trying to hit something that's lower than you. That's one of the main criticisms I hear about this game on like quality of life things and like on the forums or something, is that an enemy can hit you from a slightly different elevation, but you can't hit them. And it's like super fucking annoying. I heard a lot of people make that complaint as like one of like the big flaws. Oh shit. Okay. Fucking guy. I need more health here. Hit that guy instead. Yeah, the wolves with like the tiny little altitude changes in the mountains. That was actually one of my like most inconvenient deaths I ever had. Was I fell, I took some fall, I'm so fucked here, oh my god. I fell, I took some fall damage going down the mountain. Okay. Okay. 3 mosquitoes. Just fight that guy. to run. Ooh. That was close. I'm really dead here, though. Like, for sure. Jesus Christ, man. One piece of gear at a time. I'm so much better at the timing of this than I used to be. You gotta watch all of them. You can't let any of them get behind you. Now you can start shooting with arrows, I think. Oh no! My arrow wasn't popped soon enough. You should have died on one hit. At least to die on one hit with him. Which one are you talking about? The locks? Or the Desquitos or what? Yeah. Oh, it's brutal. Even with like full armor, you still take about 40. And if you're lightly armored like I am with this set, you like very much well, you get stunned, you get dazed every time, which is so brutal. So brutal. They have caused me so much like pain and trauma over the years. This time I'm pretty close to the edge of the forest, so it shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, the Desquitos are a real pain in my booty hole for sure. Okay, onion, stir. Yeah, I hate them so much. They've like cost me so many hours in this game. One time really early on, basically the only time I ever like tried to exploit the game or do something. I would say I don't know if it was exploiting, but when I first got a ship, the Carve, I took it to go. I wanted to circle. I found this area, so I wanted to circle this continent. So obviously this is a huge path to do early in the game, and I got up to here, checked out this creek, landed here to like heal or something, and then a Desquito came from over here and killed me. And that is so far from my base for early game that I think what I did is I like went to like a backup save and got my stuff back, and then like so I didn't lose all my gear, and then just left it there or something. I forgot what I did. That was the only time I ever tried to like, I think it was one of the only times, if not the only time, I ever like used a backup save to try to like regain my progress when things were like really bad. Maybe one other time I did with a troll ground is shaking attack on my early base, but I don't think it worked out. I think I just eventually had to rebuild my base anyway. And then one time I had to take an old character from last time I played this game a couple years ago into save me from the crypts. Oh, Jesus. That was the other like cheeser thing I did. Get out of the way, fuck. Yeah, fight him. Okay, so I can't do the dodge. Okay, and drop next tail, drop resin, take off pickup. So start shooting this guy. This is the same locks before. Now I just have to hope I don't get ambushed by Desquitos. It'd be cool if they're like, it seems like their head is not their weak point, but I'm not really sure what their weak point is. Oof, that's the attack that's the scary one. That's the attack that's really quick and snappy. It looks, I think their head is like more durable. Okay, I think the next level of Lux Cape is 6 pelts. And I don't need the meat. Okay, this would be a good time to use a Buke Parry. And use better and get better food. But I actually don't even have better food on me. The sound. Oh, that was almost a nice juke. The jump was good. I didn't know you could jump over their move. If they were like less forgiving on their hitbox, that would be a much even more painful battle than it already is to fight those fucking Skeetos. Okay, there's a Lox there. Yeah, 130. I like that. I should actually... My arrows are a little more efficient if I wait for the dot to go off before them, between them. Oh, he's gonna snap me. Ooh, that was close. These guys could like almost one-shot me, I think. That was scary. Gotta watch my stamina here. Nice opportunity to heal. Is bum. The most I can ever really do is like 60, 70 on these guys. Oh, that actually hit me? That's bullshit. I'm now very vulnerable to Death Skeeto. Oh my god. Okay, this is where I'm in a bit of trouble. Oh, really? Okay, there we go. Nice. Okay, that was a little close. Oof. Okay. Trophy for... I need to kill one more to get the next upgrade for my cloak. I'm like for sure got more death black metal than I'll ever need, I'm pretty sure. Should be able to eat an onion soup soon. I wonder if people... There's like a word in French in like the cuisine, and like kind of like their cuisine universe is soupçon, S-O-U-P-C-O-N. I think that has something to do with like your, like some role in the kitchen. I wonder if people in English saying soups on is related to that, is some sort of like shitty 30s pun or something, or whether it's just like soups on still makes sense. I think it's a little bit of the former. Anyway. When can I eat this onion soup? Yeah, I wonder. 'Cause I think it's like it's like one of the roles in the kitchen. I think. All right. Got the healing. None of my stuff is ticking down yet. I guess we'll just bone mass now for some assurance. And get to shooting. Ether is probably actually better against these guys. We're just gonna stay here. Maybe I can just go. Maybe I can just go hit him with my fists. See what happens. Nope, never mind. Yeah. I've never done that. I don't want to explore the map. I want to leave the mysteries. If I ever want to make this, if I want to make this my definitive playstyle, the more that you leave mysterious, the more that new stuff can get there, which is pretty cool, I think. Okay, 2 more shots should be good. This guy made it a bit easy for me by not really realizing he was in battle for a while. Seems like they do 2 or 3 snaps for every big charge. Get out of the burn, please. Thank you. Okay, how's my inventory? Good. Let's go chop down a couple of birch trees and call it a day. I thought I was reading that the Yggdrasil tree in the sky stems from the Mistlands. I could be wrong with that though. I hear fueling. There he is. Back here, fucker. Oh. If you can get the stun in these guys with the rapid fire of the fists, it's really useful. Yeah, she rolled around. Maybe something disturbed her. Cats, when I find she looks so comfortable when she like gets up to change positions and just goes back to bed. Her old bed that no matter what I bought for her in the apartment I used to live in, I had like a shoebox lined with a thin wool blanket, and she would just sleep in that no matter what kind of beds I bought. And she'd be sleeping so well, and she'd get up and kind of like turn positions and go back to sleep, and she was getting real good sleep in there. This works. This seems to be working pretty well. The thing with the shoebox was that she could like it would like hold her in place, you know what I mean? There would be like all 4 edges would be kind of like keeping her in that box so she could lean against it, and that's a pretty safe little area to be into. That was like her all-time best sleeps ever, was in a fucking brown leather dress shoebox with a black thin wool blanket. Good times. There's like a mean neighborhood cat around then that would like come up to my like window. She would get in through like the first floor window. So she'd occasionally like, I know that cat would come lurking to like fuck with her sometimes. So she would kind of be kind of scared and stare at that window sometimes, make sure nothing was coming to kill her. That cat like scratched her nose up one time. So ultimately that was like a good time it was a good thing we moved. I think she's a little bit stressed out by the environment. Otherwise, she had a good time. She was like really good friends with the neighbors. She would like sleep. The neighbors were like 2 people in their like 70s or 80s. And she'd go to their house and sleep on their couch like most days. Pretty cute. If I didn't know where she was, I just like go check inside, look inside their window. She's like sleeping on the couch. They had like big bay windows in the living room at the back. They were really nice. It was kind of like a bit sad though. Like the guy was kind of recovering from like cancer surgery that kind of like destroyed his like digestive passageways, etc. And he was chugging along and doing his stuff, you know what I mean? But he was like very much running out of gas to some degree. And like they drank a lot. They would drink like a lot of vodka, a lot of beer constantly. And have those moments, and they're just kind of like trying to get through it all. Once in a while, he would like get too drunk to like, he'd be too weak after drinking to like get into bed, so he'd like fall on the floor, and she would call the fucking like ambulance, paramedics to like get him out of bed, to get him into the bed. So I'd see these flashing lights outside my window. I was like, oh no, is this the day that Eric is gone? But it was just her refusing to text me so I could help him, and calling like the paramedics again because he couldn't get up. Crazy, man. It's like just a neighborhood occurrence. They were so nice. They were drinking so much though to like deal with them, their pain, etc. He had kids from a previous marriage. She didn't, and they got married again like when they were in like their 40s or something. I liked them a lot. They were really nice people. Okay, that's good for now. They look after her. They babysit her and like love to do it whenever I had to go away for anywhere. She texted me she emailed me for like, she would give me these kind of like long, slightly rambling, slightly alcoholic emails all the time. It was cute. And then she did it for a while, and then she eventually got her own cat. So she stopped texting me about mine and how much she missed her. And I haven't really heard from her in a while. I should maybe look into her. I should maybe look into her once in a while, see how she's doing. Hopefully she's not like a widow at this point. he had like these like colon cancers or whatever it was, and the surgery they did just like or whatever happened, his like that whole system was like wrecked. He was like basically in diapers with like a bag, and like the whole house you kind of just tell there's like this like kind of shit reek. So brutal, man. It's so sad. Can't do anything about that. It's like everywhere. It's like the indignities of old age. Really sad. Alright, so yeah. I mean, a lot of people rely on it. I think Finland has like a pretty strong vodka drinking culture, doesn't it? A lot of people rely on it to like let loose. Like a lot of people are pretty buttoned up and like not really in touch themselves. And like it helps, alcohol helps you kind of like let loose a little bit and like enjoy your weekends or be more sociable. Some people can't really like relax to some degree or like let themselves go and kind of like in a therapeutic fashion have a good time once in a while without alcohol. I understand what it's like a little bit. It's like easier to like party and have fun and be out, etc. And sometimes like yeah, you can go out without alcohol, but like you're like, am I really making it? Like some people were like, what's the point of doing this? Like I'm just like waiting to be done or like chilling with my friends and reacting to them or something like that. It's the way it feels like for some people. I get that a little bit. It's definitely easier to like have a good time and like do like kind of like a lot of life is that most people don't really know how to let loose. Not a lot of life, that's like overly vague. But like most people don't really know how to let loose. And even people who are like, who you think might be like boring or plain or something like that, if once in a while they kind of just like pop off a little bit, they're fucking hilarious. They're like as funny as anybody. So it's like kind of like being charismatic and being fun and funny seems to really relate a lot to how much you can just like have those unguarded moments. Pretty funny when someone who you don't expect to be very funny just like gets real weird with it. I love that shit. Okay, so I think I can now fully upgrade my armor set, which is nice. So I need those and I need those. And I believe this is how much I need. Upgrade. So that's 18, 15, 33, yeah, and then 30, 60, 90. Okay, we're good. So upgrade padded cuirass. Hopefully this will be the top level. Padded greaves. And padded helmet. I think this will be max level. Yeah, max quality armor. Nice. Congratulations. We did it. So let's go get the, so now I can check out my set, but I'll do that after my break to keep some element of suspense going. And then I want to take my sword, mace, and shield and see what it requires to upgrade them. Being a little drunk removes some barriers. Some people don't understand it, but it's okay to have 1, 3. I mean, alcohol, the others think it's life-threatening. Yeah. I mean, alcohol is like as common to the human experience as like baking is at this point, you know what I mean? We've always kind of needed it. Okay. Porcupine. Iron and needles. Black metal and linen thread. Black metal and chain. Okay, so we got to keep the we got to keep the chain going. So we'll need more iron, more black metal. We'll need another set of charcoal. I'm still gonna leave the metal armor set in here. I'll take the Lux cape out. Lux cape. Ooh. Take those. I think I can upgrade the Lux cape now, right? Yeah. Nice. How much armor is on her now? It's the same as the fucking other one. What's the deal with that? Yeah, that makes sense. I like wine with a nice dinner. I also like a nice cocktail, like a bourbon whiskey type cocktail, in a nice place. Alcohol definitely has its moments. Having like a having a beer with like a little bit of pot when you're a pot smoker is like a pretty fucking sick buzz too. Gotta say, has its moments. Okay, so the short form is the charcoal. I should be ready by morning. And that's enough Valheim for now, I think. Yeah. You just realize if you're drinking while playing a game, you realize you're doing worse and worse at it. So, by Fallout Online, do you mean Fallout 76? Have you considered that you are not inhaling properly when you smoke? I thought for a while that it wasn't really doing much for me until such a point that like some girls who are a little more seasoned than me who I went to school with kind of taught me to like make sure you're like inhaling and holding it properly and all those things. Oh, it's Fallout Online 3, right? Okay. I find that was like I started to get to for sure get stoned once I realized that you really have to like inhale it and like hold it in your chest and let go. Before I was like almost like swallowing it or something. Yeah, yeah. All right, I'm gonna be back in a little bit. Time to eat some sardine toast and with slices of shallot and a bit of tomato. And yeah, when I was a teenager, I just didn't really get it to work that well. But eventually, yeah, you start to learn how to do it. Anyway, I'm gonna go make some lunch. I'll be back later. See you, pal.